Dacour. I think you've also got to understand all the teams playing in this tournament. It is all pre-season for them, and there's still a lot of sharpness to be picked up and worked for. Wallace. Now I'm saying rather blithely, sitting up here with a little bit of air conditioning at our back, that the humidity has decreased, but down there it may be entirely different. Lovely flick, Petrov tried to open it out again. Totti picking up a lot from midfield. Interesting ball, but Baldi watches. He had to get that one cleanly. Any mistake, that was in the back of the net.
Yeah, he made great contact with that, and I'm just watching the ball been given away a few times, and I wonder how much it has to do with the pitch. Apparently, it was laid yesterday, as you said, in 16 hours or so. And towards the end of that game between Porto and Liverpool, it started to cut up, so they've obviously done a lot of work on it. Today, I think from this height, and we're on the third level here in the main stand, it seems to be breaking up just ever so slightly, and I wonder how it's going to hold out.
And it goes to Wallace. Certainly a very impressive game in Seattle.
Well, this is a big chance for Ross Wallace. Obviously, Alan Thompson's out injured. He's probably going to miss the start of the season. Stephen Pearson's back in the bench again.
Ooh, that was very tight. And there was a gap opened up right through the middle of the Celtic defence. And you can see that when Totti picks the ball up in midfield, anything can happen. Extremely creative player. Leonard. There's a gap. I think you can tell from the way the Italians have approached this, there was a certain indignity in being thumped by Chelsea, and they wanted to retrieve that.
Yep, and they were also thumped by Rangers as well, just a week or two ago. Obviously, Celtic's performance tonight will no doubt be compared.
Different teams, of course, and that was the start of their training, so I don't think they were up to it. Celtic with more of the ball now. Wallace. Youngster going after that with relish, but too easily marked there by Philippe Mexes. Jackie McNamara, beautiful play by McNamara. Nicely swept out that time by Petrov. That's a very inviting ball, but chested back there by the Italian international Panucci. D'Agostino, there was no offside flag this time. Varga. I thought he was immense against Manchester United. He was everywhere. Leg, chest, head. Getting in the way of the Manchester United attacks, especially in the last 20 minutes of the game. Onto that left-footed Wallace. The good thing about Wallace is he can cross a ball from a tight position when he puts his mind to it. He's in two minds now. That's what I meant. Away by Mexes. Can't keep that ball in, and Celtic beginning to warm to the task, put the passes together. And I think Jim Craig in his pre-match analysis of prognostication was right in the Italians going for the breaks, especially when they put the ball into midfield to Totti.
Yeah, I think that Roma looked particularly strong in midfield, but I'm just seeing signs of Chelsea at the back here. They look just ever so slightly susceptible at the back. Although that last Wallace cross there, right across the 6-yard box, and there was 5, not 4 Roma defenders in a straight line right across the 6-yard line.
Leonard again. Tries to get it to Hodgson. Big fella going in there was Delas, of course. Traianos Delas, who was one of the outstanding players in the Greek side, which won the European Championship. Really an immense big player with a deft touch as well. It wasn't just a case of kick up the park for him. That's what I meant. There he goes away. I think he got out of the way. I think he sensed what was coming near him.
I thought he played the ball.
I did too.
Let's see it again. Yeah, he did play the ball. His studs may have been shown.
Yeah, and watch the way that he jumped as well.
You can hardly blame him.
D'Agostino was seeing a lot of this ball at the moment. Di Martino. And out of play. While the tournament was a mix of preparing for the season and prestige and I suppose a third dimension, money. Oh, that's given away again. What's he going to try? Brilliantly saved. That was a wonderful piece of football by Totti. He almost took them on in the way. He dragged the ball to the side. He didn't know when he was going to shoot, and when he did, it brought in a marvelous save in Marshall. Still going on though, the play is there. And a young Celtic goalkeeper right on his form, good eye on the ball.
It was a fantastic shot from the Roma captain, but he should never have been allowed to be in that position, 25, 26 yards from goal. It was another slack ball which put him in there. And Celtic will have to be careful because, yeah...
You know, Don, exactly. They don't grow in trees, but it's a subject that I've even talked about with both Jim and others in the Celtic TV. Celtic could do with a Totti. You know, they could do with somebody with a little bit of subtlety, the difference that they make in a game. Here's Lennon. McNamara. Dacour. Pulled to the side there. It's remarkable how fit all of these players are. There's been enormous travel from one side of this continent to the other, east, west, north, south, playing in intense humidity, punishing, torturous heat, and yet they're still full of running.
And of course, this is the fourth game in 7-8 days since last Saturday in Seattle they played Chelsea.
Dacour hugging that ball, getting it out of that tight situation. They bring the ball away and then get massed behind the play again as soon as Celtic pick it up. Totti lying very, very deep indeed. Candela trying to go through the outside. Vincent Candela, of course, finding it very hard to get in the French team. They're so strong on that left-hand side. He has occasionally done it, of course. McNamara. I don't know, maybe Jim and Tosh would talk about this. I think Jackie McNamara probably last season had one of his best ever seasons for the club. And he's had a lot of seasons, but there was something about him that was almost a revival of his form.
Yeah, he's been 10 years at Celtic, and I think without any doubt he had his best season last year. He was so versatile. He was asked to play in so many different positions, and he never let the manager down. I'm just looking at how Roma are lining up. We understood from speaking to some of the Italian press that Totti and Del Vecchio would be the front two, but it looks as if, you know, Del Vecchio is switching between playing up front and just helping out in the midfield.
Here's Hartson, that was a mistake. Played out by Petrov. Now Wallace, a little bit of space this time. That's a fetching ball. Hartson's waiting for it. Candela. Camley played out to Dacour. On it goes to Totti again. Little drag forward, and that's a useful ball, bringing out the goalkeeper. That's what I meant about the subtlety and the nuances of his play.
Yeah, I think that David Marshall got a good shout there from Stan Varga. confident keeping from the young goalkeeper. Good to see him back in tonight. He would have been keen to get back after losing so many goals in midweek.
Nice thrust forward there by Wallace. Referee waves play on.
That was Mexis again. That's not the first foul that he's committed tonight.
Yeah, he comes from that Giroux stable at Auxerre. Wonderful development of talent through the years. Almost an assembly line of talent has come out of that small club.
For over 40 years now, I think.
Indeed, indeed. He used to cut the grass when there was no stand on one side of the ground. And the cows were there. Here come Roma. Celtic trying to close them down in midfield. Taken away by Courfey. De Martino moving it across the field without making any great progress. Candela. Panucci. Easily swept away by Sutton. Good sliding tackle again by McNamara. Well, Dacour had better watch it. The free kick against him. And remember, the man is sent off against Chelsea. Arguing with the referee about that.
And a bit of dissent there as well. D'Agostino booked for kicking the ball away.
Now, whether it's true or not, I heard a little buzz from our colleagues in Fox Television News that the Chelsea player sent off will miss 3 Premiership games, which seems to be ludicrous, if it is true.
It's absolutely bizarre that players get themselves in a situation in a friendly match where they get cautioned. And it's happening more and more. I've seen it more and more in the past few years.
Well, I don't mind it being... I mean, you want an impassioned game at all times, so I don't like exhibition football, but carrying over the penalty into a different football environment seems to be crazy. Anyway, free kick to Celtic with 20 minutes of this first half gone. Still no scoring. Wallace, and I think the referee having a word with Lennon about where he took that. Putting it back again. He might be, Steve De Piero might be a little bit finicker than the other referees we've had in the tournament so far. Some of whom have been very charitable, to say the least.
And we also have Amato De Luca running the main stand line.
I thought you would notice that.
Not that I'm trying to suggest anything here.
Well, a young lady running the line isn't a usual sight in our footballing culture, but she's looking after that far side. Nice, friendly, family atmosphere about this as well. Of course, the Celtic support want to see a win, so do Romas, and there's a fair sprinkling of Roma supporters in here as well, with a huge Italian community.
I was outside with the Celtic fans just half an hour or so before kick-off, and the atmosphere was great. This is the best it's been in the tour. This is the biggest Celtic support I've ever seen in North America.
And I think I'm right in saying that in the best sense of the word, they were taking advantage of the strong British pound against the Canadian dollar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wallace, nice sharp pass inside. Agat, been quiet so far on that far side. Mugetti, little twinkle about the feet when he gets the ball. Candela getting right in on top of them. Little gift to Agat. Play hugging that far touchline. Now Lennon. On to Varga. Taking his time about it, can strike long and effective passes, and that ball just sweeps away. Well-intentioned, and it would have set Mugetti free on that right-hand side. Mugetti a boy for the present as well as the future. Remains to be seen how often Martin O'Neill will play this youngster with a kind of magical quality to his feet. You never quite know what he's going to deliver when the ball is played to him, but I think that's always the kind of quality that gets a crowd excited. Little ball pushed on there to Lennon, but he's offside, and Lennon having a shot at goal.
Which is a phrase you don't hear every day either. I think that, going back to Aidan McGeady, I think that he will play a fairly significant part in this coming season, but the ball put through from Stan Varga was perfect almost, and I think he is a player with great vision.
Well, there's a mistake by Varga this time. The only mistake he's made in the tournament. They put him in there. It's too far. Totti has scored! Francesco Totti with a delicate looping header puts Roma 1-up. A mistake by a big fella, as I said. He's hardly put a foot wrong in the tournament thus far, but a beautifully flighted ball. And Totti's finish was cool, composed, and immaculate.
Well, it's Murphy's Law for me. I was at that very second just praising him for having great vision, and Totti lobs David Marshall from 12-14 yards perhaps. David Marshall again off his line, slightly reminiscent to the goal that he conceded in Villarreal, if you remember. And that's a real blow for Celtic a quarter of the way through this game, because I think it's been fairly evenly balanced, but the Celtic fans are alive now, and I wonder just how they'll come back.
Oh, I think this will cause Celtic to make a real game of it now. I think the game was developing into a kind of lull there. You know, there was nothing really very much happening. And now something has happened in the most dramatic way for the Italian side. And Celtic showed against other teams how they've been able to come back. Free kick. And it's always best if they can strike back very quickly. Good psychologically to do that. And I have to say, I have to praise Totti for his finish.
Absolutely first class, and that's exactly what he's capable of if he gets that amount of space. And again, I think perhaps David Marshall has to look at his positioning there.
Free kick. Wallace to take with that left foot of his. All the bigger men are up, only Jackie McNamara left at the back. Cleared there by Mexis. Back by Agat. Here's Leonard again. That little touch to the side. Dumagetti. Petrov, a bit unfortunate not to get away with it. Totti pushes that forward again. There is Totti, lovely little ball to the outside. He's dominating in midfield, Totti now. Del Vecchio. Good tackle there by Baldi. Then I thought he went for the ball, but the referee is indicating free kick.
The assistant referee gave a throw in.
So, D'Agostino to take this. Gaetano D'Agostino. Ooh, that's a dangerous looking one, and that got beyond the two big central defenders there. And I think if he'd been more alert, that could have gone in the back of the net.
Yeah, I don't think Francesco Totti could believe his luck there. That ball dropped him, no offside flag, 1-1 with David Marshall, and it rolled into Marshall's arms, and Celtic perhaps off the hook.
Here's Baldi. Venturing forward for the first time in a game. That good play by Petrov. He almost got away. Dacour. Measuring up. Changed direction altogether. Played by Totti to the free man, Candela. Dacour. Celtic have been able to get players back all the same. Hooked away there. Wallace just getting in behind it. He is a real prospect. Natural left-footed. Gets balls in from tight situations. Hudson coming back, throw to Roma. Totti just getting that to the side. Petrov was in very quickly to him. Di Martino. Dakur. Up came Sutton to try and get hold of him. He was held back. Free kick.
Just a bit of frustration setting in now. I hope, for the sake of the game, that Celtic can come back for this, because I don't honestly believe that they deserve to be a goal down.
Free kick to Roma again, and they've been providing useful ammunition up front, because that Celtic defence just looking slightly rusty. Maybe Bobo Balde, having come back into the team after missing the other games through a virus, isn't fully up to it. Totti just brushed away there by Jackie McNamara. Totti trying to look very aggrieved, as if an injustice had been perpetrated. Wallace showing good tenacity. Good play by the Italians. That was Del Vecchio. Could have been played to the side. Good fade. There's the free kick as Balde goes in a very, very tricky situation now for Celtic. Any defence could be vulnerable for this as the play stops.
Yeah, Ross Wallace was injured there. He did give the ball away. I thought he'd recovered well. The referee, to his credit, I think he's having not a bad game so far. He's very pro the team who is going forward, but Ross Wallace took a clatter there against Del Vecchio, and play raged on. And again, Celtic now to defend a free kick just at the edge of the D. And another big test for David Marshall as Ross Wallace gets back to his feet.
Well, we can hear the Italian supporters in the background now. Very pensive looking Martin O'Neill, and once again we say the Celtic support delighted to see him back. With good personal news as well. He's made that clear about family. And so the way is clear for him to take up his full duties again, as Ross Wallace wants to get back onto the field as quickly as he possibly can.
I wonder if it's, if it's worthwhile in a situation like this just to make a substitution now and get Stephen Pearson on.
Well, Totti threatening again. He's been a real menace in the field tonight for Celtic. D'Agostino's there as well. The referee wants the Celtic wall back. Trying to push them back a little. Having a conference with the Celtic defenders. Still not happy about it. Maybe should get the inch tape out. And there's a booking for somebody. I don't know who
Sutton,
it is.
I think that's it. Chris Sutton. It was always going to end like that. It's absolutely pointless. It's pointless arguing with the referee. I've never seen a referee back down in my life.
Still arguing about where they are. Now is Totti going to have a go at this? Oh, it's curled in, it's just past. D'Agostino this time. Well, you could see he wanted to whip that right across. Beautifully taken. And off the side of that post there. It couldn't have been closer without actually going in. And David Marshall had no chance. I mean, I think any defence is vulnerable when a free kick is given away in that position.
Yeah, that was only inches away from making it number 2. I'm just watching Ross Wallace below as he's going to come back on. Just waiting to be invited on, and he is now. So no changes yet. I'm sure that Martin has a game plan, and perhaps losing Ross Wallace after 32 minutes wasn't part of it.
Dakur. And he's gave that away, and another free kick. Neil Lennon in a little joust with the referee that time about his decision. Some hard tackling going in there. And I think the very fact that the one team has gone in front has given this game that little bit of bite and edge.
Stilian Petrov, just a just a touch late there on Raffaele Di Martino.
Played wide. Courfey. Another of the Frenchmen in the side. 3 French in all. Bonucci. Played by Delas. It's a long one and should be David Marshall's. It is. Took that well enough. Candela. Bonucci. And easily out with about 12 minutes to go to half-time. Celtic still trailing. Oh, they're fastening in Dacour very quickly. That was Sutton who came back, and that's a free kick. That was a hard one by Dacour, who gets another yellow card. So he's had a red in the last game and now yellow. And he could be asking for trouble. Now, there is a report, Tony, about the game last night, which is apocryphal, I have to say, but it's rather amusing, that one of the teams had to get to the airport with a score 0 each, and penalties looming, when one of the coaches came out and did a throat-cut gesture to one of his players who headed a very loose ball to an opponent, and off they went to the airport without the penalties, having lost 1-0. I'd love to believe it's true.
It's a great cynical tale, if nothing else.
A gag with it.
I think as we approach half-time that Cesare Prandelli will obviously be the happier of the 2 coaches. His team are exactly where they want them. Celtic just looking a tiny wee bit frustrated now, losing the midfield battle. Strong at the back though. John Hartson playing well tonight. Chris Sutton plays well every night, of course. And I'm sure that Celtic can come back for this, but so far it's looking good for the Italian side.
Well, you know, like any other club around the country, around the world that wants to get to the best, get to the highest, the search is like the search for the Holy Grail. A midfield player of quality, of verve, insight, and making sure that he can make other players play. I mean, it's all very well talking about that. Is where are they? Who's available? How much do they cost? But that, you know, I think it's glaring. That's what Celtic needs.
Yeah, but I also think that Celtic's strengths are twofold. You know, during Henrik Larsson's time, and that's I think that's the first time I've mentioned his name in this. During Henrik Larsson's time, you know, Celtic were a powerful force going forward, and I think since Martin O'Neill arrived just over 4 years ago, they've been a very solid defending team.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm talking about those aspects that Celtic have to look at.
But of course, the draw for the UEFA Champions League is made on the 26th. And I think that these are the type of teams that we've seen in the past week. These are the type of teams that Celtic are liable to come up against.
Played out there. Lennon tried to squeeze that away in a tight situation. That's a ball down to Sutton, going after it. Bit of a push there. He's hardly been, I mean, he's come back and defended a lot. We've hardly seen John Hartson.
Yeah, but I think that's exactly what's been happening tonight. That John Hartson has been getting dragged back into midfield and dragged back into defence, whereas Francesco Totti for Roma has opted, or has been told, to play in midfield.
Here's Candela. Can he keep it in? He does. Agat lets him do all the work, and he's pulled back. Free kick. Like to see Maggette getting more of the ball played across to him. D'Agostino missing out on that. Lennon. That's a support work again by Lennon. Pushed away down this side. That's a free kick.
That's a good call for Celtic there, because I think they could easily have been penalised. Jackie McNamara having a wee tug at Leonardo Courfey's jersey.
Well, a free kick. They're coming fast and furious now. Little bits of niggle creeping into the game, but nothing of any malice.
I suppose it's good to see in a friendly match. There's nothing worse than, you know, watching a real dull game.
Absolutely, yeah. Varga, good header. Baldi's up as well. And there's a little flick by Sutton. He came in very quickly, but I think the flag by the young lady across on the far side, Denise Robinson, was up very quickly. There she is in the far side. As this ball is played, Sutton getting it there.
That was a good call. I think it was 2 yards at least offside.
Off the back of Baldi's head.
And I'm sure Martin O'Neill will make some changes. If not at half-time, then certainly around about the Craig Beattie, who's Celtic's top scorer in this tournament in North America, is one of the 10 Celtic substitutes. 7 of them can play, of course.
Well, there is another factor, of course. The Italians, their league doesn't start till September, and their level of fitness will be different from Celtic's. I don't think they'll last the second half as well as Celtic, so that'll be another factor as well as we go towards the last 5 minutes of this half. Way in the far side, Panucci. Taking his time, more deliberation. Baldi going out, good play by Baldi. Well, Del Vecchio had, I think, about a yard start on him there, but he was caught, and once again, that source of inspiration coming from midfield. Delas. Taken by Panucci.
Just watching Bobo Baldi there chasing back Marco Del Vecchio. It doesn't look as if he's suffering any after effects of this virus. He was very quick indeed to get back there.
Absolutely, yeah. Showed his fitness that time. Maybe as the game develops, it's feeling easier. McGeady getting more into the game. Lennon. McNamara. Wallace. And it goes to Totti. Turns beautifully in that ball again. Through the middle it goes. Varga comes for it. McNamara. Very cool play by Baldi. Now, a little bit of play by Hodgson. He's been almost anonymous in the game so far, but here to the side to McGeady. That's a beautiful ball, and Sutton comes in. A real chance that time. The flag stayed down, and I think the corner kick from that, perhaps one of Celtic's best moves in the game, with about 4 minutes of this half remaining.
Yeah, I would say it certainly is Celtic's best move of the game, and it started with a deft touch from Chris Sutton out to John Hartson and then to McGeady.
Quickly played, Agat. Wallace not quite getting hold of it properly. The core, a little bit too clever by half. He could have cleared that sooner. McGeady. Seemed to take his eye off the ball that time. And a throw to Roma. Easing the pressure on them when Celtic were looking good there. And that point you were making about, you know, solid defending and quick attacking, that has been, I think, one of the main characteristics of Celtic, given they have the players like Sutton who can take chances like that one. Yep. Here is a gap. Now Petrov. Celtic striving to get this equalizer before they go in for half-time. Moving the ball about sensibly. Wallace again. I think it was Jim I heard saying in the studio he regretted Wallace, Craig Beattie not in the starting lineup. I think at 64 on, he's going to be coming on maybe from the start. He's got pace, which is invaluable. There's Sutton, claiming his jersey was pulled. McNamara. On the far side, McGeady. And he's saying, the lady across there, saying corner kick.
I'm not convinced that Craig Beattie is a guaranteed starter in the coming season, but he's certainly on this tour, giving Martin O'Neill something to think about.
Swinging in from Wallace. Varga was up. It's played across. Celtic pressurising this defence. I think for the first real time in the game so far. There have been the occasional attacks, but Roma at the moment are hemmed in.
The last 5 or 6 minutes, it's been all Celtic.
Petrov. Now again. Getty again. I think he was in several minds there, McGeady. Held on to that well. Celtic linking well. Roma can't clear the lines. Celtic have to take advantage of it. We're into the last 30 seconds of this half. Well, they're not going to get the free kick for that either. Lennon. McGeady come across to this far side. Good play. Can't get it back, and he's fouled, and his persistence might pay some dividend this time. Kept the ball well under really ferocious tackling.
He's got very quick feet, and he's playing on the left-hand side at the moment as well, which obviously shows his versatility. There's 1 minute to be added, Archie.
And that's the allotted 45 minutes up, and there's a bit of pushing going on in the box. The referee racing across there, Steve Di Piero. Hooked in, that's a good one again, brilliantly saved, and there's Baldi! Oh. That should have been put away, and we identified that vulnerability at the start when the ball's played across the goal like that. And Baldi, well, he's not a noted finisher, but if you're in there, you've got to put them in the back of the net.
Well, I think even with that miss, and that was definitely a miss, that Bobo Baldi, I think, with the exception of Francesco Totti, has been the best player in the park tonight so far.
Well, it should have been a wonderful header by Hartson to start off with. As I said, he's not been in the game all that much, but then again, if you have that quality in the air, you can suddenly change the whole nature of the game, as he almost did there. Free kick. I don't think Martin O'Neill was at all happy with some of the tackling, certainly not that last tackling. He's come right out to the edge of the pitch. Say something to Wallace. But it's McGeady who's going to take this. And it comes again. This time they do clear it, but they have looked vulnerable as the half-time whistle goes. There it is. Celtic trailing to that very almost cute goal, you could put it, by this man here. Francesco Totti. Celtic coming back much more strongly towards the end and missing out, and the score at half-time as a result of that man's subtlety is Celtic 0, Roma 1.
So plenty of
tournament which have been merely exhibition games. So there has been that edge, and we're grateful for that. And of course the Celtic support would be even more grateful for a victory this evening or at any time. But in terms of the balance of the game, thank heaven the drums have stopped. Maybe that was a signal to the referee, Steve Di Piero, because the second half is now underway. We're looking hard down to find out if any significant changes one way or the other have taken place. We can't come across any at the moment, as the man of the match almost picked it up again there, Totti. Man of the match so far, Celtic now with the challenge of changing this game entirely. They're certainly capable of doing it. And I think if that had been in a vital game, an old firm game, and Baldy had missed that one, I think it would have lasted for a while. But he is a defender, and Jim and Tosh have admitted they wouldn't have scored with it either. I think that's what they admitted. No.
Well, you never know with Jim Craig, because he's still saying 37 years later that it wasn't a penalty in Milan, so you can never be too sure.
Free kick.
And we can confirm that it's the same teams, both teams, which is slightly surprising. I expected Roma perhaps to make some changes. I think Martin O'Neill will make some changes tonight, that's for sure. Whether he does it on the hour mark or waits until Celtic get an equaliser, we'll have to wait and see.
Picked up by Panucci. Trying to get in behind Bobo Baldi. He almost does. There's a run forward by Candela, but the flag is up. I think Del Vecchio is claiming he was moving back the way. But the young lady on the far side, her flag was up very quickly.
Fortunate call for Celtic again, I think, because Bobo Baldi was momentarily caught wrong-footed.
Now just tucked away there by Panucci. Good experience for the likes of Maggette to be playing against an experienced international. Sutton. Now Panucci. Nice little flick on to Totti, and Totti, I don't think the linesman knew where that was. In fact, he kept his flag down. It was a referee who decided it was Celtic's throw.
Well, John Robertson and Martin O'Neill remonstrating with the referee there, because they felt that the Greek player Delas was holding on to Chris Sutton at the edge of the penalty box.
Nicely flipped back by Wallace. Oh, the substitutions will certainly take place. This will take the toll on players. There's Sutton falling back against Delas. And now back to the goalkeeper. Played away by Zotti. Wallace again. McNamara still full of running. Well, they tried to hem Wallace in, but I've made a point that even if he goes down towards that corner flag and has been hemmed in, he does get the ball over very well. Touched inside, Petrov. Still awaiting that electrifying burst by Petrov, which I don't think he's ever played a game without producing it sometime. That was a good run forward again by Wallace. Not just a case of an educated left side of him, but he's got a lot of perseverance in his play, and he almost got that ball over.
Roma look as if they've shut up shop now. They're leaving Marco Del Vecchio up there alone, and they would be quite content, I would think, at 1-0 and just try and draw Celtic out in the break.
I've seen that many a time. Saw the Prati goal against Celtic, of course, in the European game after Celtic dominated. Petrov. Way in that far side, Wallace, nobody covering. Time to bring it down, get to the line again. That's a very good looking ball. There's Hodgson, just tucked away. Could he have gone for it himself? He elected to put it across goal, and they, once again, are vulnerable to the high cross ball.
It was a very selfless move by John Hartson at the back post. I'd like to see it again. I think it might have been the wrong one.
And this is the man who's producing the goods at the moment. Ross Wallace. Now, all alone at the back, Jackie McNamara. Celtic with the pressure on. Hodgson with Panucci. Hodgson's first touch let him down that time.
Here's this chance again.
Petrov. Yeah, there it is.
Well, I think it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, he was tight against the line, Tony. You know, he tried to open the play up. I think it was going to be very difficult. Maybe Totti would have looked a header in that situation. Anyway, Petrov recovered, throw to Celtic. Getty, good touch on the line. Again, that's good play. Notice there were 3 men around him. He did get the ball over, too directly to the goalkeeper, but he took defenders on. It's all Celtic at the moment. That's Panucci. He can't keep it in. And it's going to be interesting to see what kind of level of fitness Roma have. We've already pointed out they're not as fit as Celtic. They're behind in terms of time with the training schedules. And away out of play it goes. It's Neil Lennon to take it.
There's another yellow card there, just when the ball was out of play. Marco Del Vecchio for dissent.
Totti going away. Good play by Totti, lays it on to Del Vecchio. Baldi, and Baldi again leaves Del Vecchio. I mean, Del Vecchio had another yard on him there. Now, either Del Vecchio is naturally sluggish, which I doubt very much, or he's not fully fit yet. But he doesn't have that sharpness to beat this man.
And the throw-in's gone Celtic's way because Vincent Candela took it from the wrong place. So good refereeing again.
Very good alert crowd in here tonight as Sutton takes at Celtic support, trying to encourage their side. And just as well, it is a beautiful night outside. Not sure I'm all that keen on indoor football. We would have closed the roof. Uzamata could raise the roof. Hartson offside. By about a pace. Free kick. Now, Roma, of course, had one of the best defensive records last season in Serie A. Played 34 games, they scored 68 goals. So that in Serie A was something of achievement as well. Conceded 19 goals. Now, that's a very good record for a team in a major European league. Wallace, a little bit unfortunate with the bounce of the ball. Rather feckless pass there, and I wonder if we're now seeing more than just traces of tiredness in this Roma side. It may be part of the normal strategy, of course, just to sit back there. I'm sure part of that is true. But it's Celtic winning all these balls in midfield now.
Just a bit of niggling off the ball again between Trianis Delas, the Greek, and Chris Sutton, and that's them. Certainly Sutton involved that time.
With Panucci. Back to Sutton. Nicely touched out there. Hartson, Wallace with that support. Way goes to the line again and can't get it over. Slides off the side of the foot, but you can't fault him. He's been working very, very hard. Even though he's been closely marked, he's getting the ball in. He's providing the ammunition, and that's what he's there for.
Yep, for the last 10 minutes of the first half and the first 10 minutes of this second half, both Wallace wide left and McGeady wide right have showing real promising signs for Celtic.
The referee, I think, is telling the goalkeeper to get on with it. Or I'll tell you what it is, he's not going to bowl properly on the line. It was just in front of it. I think the linesman, or assistant referee as they call him nowadays, had pointed that out.
No wonder the crowd are booing. That's just nitpicking.
Lennon couldn't shove it back there. Delas tries to slide that forward. A bit of space for Roma in midfield all the same. Back by Candela. Dacour. Well, the kind of ball passing, the very quick, sharp ball passing that Roma displayed in that first half, it isn't there at the moment. That's the kind of tackling that Celtic are winning there. And the Celtic support are beginning to sense there's the beginning of a real supremacy developing. Seeing more of the ball. No chance for Del Vecchio. David Marshall. We're discussing with some of the press at halftime that goal and talking about David Marshall's goals that he has conceded. I think one in the cup final as well, by just being slightly offline.
I'm sure it's something that will improve. But this has been a good performance for Celtic, and I'm pleased about that because there's a huge Celtic support here tonight in the Sky Dome. Many of these people don't get to see Celtic terribly often, and it's good to see that Celtic are repaying them for their efforts tonight.
And now a free kick. Really have to take advantage of anything that comes their way. Varga and Petrov just behind the ball. Two lines of defense, as you can see. There's the picket fence, and it goes against them. Wallace, another beautiful ball inside. Baldi was up this time, and Roma have nobody forward. McNamara. Jackie McNamara had to bring that down very quickly. They were coming up on him. Hartson. Petrov. Celtic with more running in them at the moment. Well, that ball looked to have gone over, and I think the linesman was slow putting his flag up.
Yeah, it goes against Didi Agat. Didi Agat obviously been told to get further forward.
Here's Candela. Try to hook that away, and Boba Baldi just thought in the first 10-15 minutes he was finding his feet again, and then he most convincingly did. Totti again. Always gets that little touch in when he's pressurized, and that's a very poor ball inside. Now Sutton. Hartson. Petrov.
I think Celtic are going to make some changes. Looks like Josful Haran is stripped for action.
Hooked away, and all the Italians are now doing is barricading themselves in.
And Craig Beattie as well.
Well, I think the Beattie one was almost self-evident. Just beyond Dellas. Nicks it back in time. Baldi. Well, Celtic are really camped in the Roma half now. Well, nothing much. The Italians are showing how to break the grip that Celtic have on them, but they're still to score. Celtic, that's the point. Still to find that finishing touch.
Celtic are going to make 3 changes now. Stephen Pearson, O'Haran and Craig Beattie.
They're just about to come on now. Well, with Pearson and Beattie, you're injecting immediately a new, fresh pace. They're both direct, aggressive players. And I think with what looks to me like a wilting Roma defense, the substitution may pay off handsomely. Good ball to Wallace again. That's an inviting one. Well away by Dellas. Jackie McNamara tried to run through. Lovely play by Jackie McNamara. Wonderful to see the fullback coming in like that. Totti getting support. De Martino, and the ball forward to the sole man up there. Del Vecchio is being well covered all the same. Varga, he can come forward as well. And Celtic are fully aware of what Wallace is doing for them, trying to ply him with the ball now.
Going to make these changes now. I think Petrov and McNamara are going to come off. And
yeah, it looks like that. Well, Jackie McNamara has virtually run himself into the ground. You could hardly blame the Celtic management for taking them both off. Fulham running, and we're waiting for the third substitution. I think it's
Sutton.
Yes, Sutton. Sutton coming off, and they made the 3 substitutions. And I think we're going to have substitutions. Lanzaro and Montella are about to come on.
Let's just recap in the Celtic team then, Archie. Beattie's going to take the place of Sutton up front. Pearson's going to take the place of Petrov, and Volharen will slot into left back in that space left by Jackie McNamara, so no changes.
And Lanzaro and Montello about to come on for the Italians. Just waiting their turn. Decided to hold back on it for a few seconds, a few minutes rather. Now, Panucci. So he takes Maggette on in the way Maggette would like to take him on. That's a decent ball to Del Vecchio. Good play there by Varga. He was pushed, but even before that, he had marked up Del Vecchio very well. Even though he had fallen off balance, he did get that little touch in.
D'Agostino coming off and Mexes coming off. It's the 2 changes. And Vincenzo Montella is the player coming on. And also
Lanzaro.
Maurizio Lanzaro.
Both sets of supporters chanting away in the background. Delsa Forza Totti. That's part of the Italian element here tonight, a very strong Italian community in the Toronto area.
I think it's fine, Archie, when they make substitutions in 2s and 3s, but when it's wholesale changes, it seems to devalue the game somewhat.
Yeah, it's like a rusher. Baldi. Throw to Celtic. Oh, he's been given the other way.
I think Mexis is still on, actually. They've had a wee rethink about that, and Marco Del Vecchio is the player who has come off. They definitely held up number 24, but it's Del Vecchio who has come off.
Yeah, no wonder the way he's looked so sluggish in this game. Dacour. Now Panucci. Totti, well tackled that time by Baldi. There's a run forward by the substitute there that time. Now, there goes Beattie. Hodgson complaining that there was a hand used and that was mistiming.
I think that's very kind of you to say that was mistiming.
No, I think it was mistiming, actually. I think the player came across him as he went for it. Let's watch it. Well, mistiming is a word I would probably retract at the moment.
The diplomat of the year.
It was crude, all right, let's face it. Free kick.
But it was a great move started by Craig Beattie. Did a wonderful turn in the middle of his own half and tried to feed through John Hartson, but by that time the whole 11 Celtic players were in the Celtic half, so it was always going to be a difficult one for them.
Panucci was very, very static there. Had to rush back and retrieve that. Delas. Montello is playing up front, Vincenzo Montella. Well, just got in there. That was the Philip Mexis going there, who's still on the field. Now Hodgson. Plays it wide as Valharen tried to go down that left-hand side. Just a little bit too hard. 25 minutes of the game left.
Momo Silla coming on, which may signal the end for young Aidan McGeady.
Out now to Agat. Trying to get something out of this right side. Getty. And the more Celtic pummel this defence, the tighter they may come. Varga, useful ball there. There's a lot of pushing going on there by Panucci and Hodgson. A good ball by Varga. Noticed last season so many passes that Varga sprayed about, long passes, 30-40 yard passes that were effective for Celtic.
I think that's going to be John Hartson's last involvement in this match, actually, and he's worked hard tonight.
Well, the physio is down there at the moment, and the referee's coming to have a look and see what's going on.
He's just tightening up his studs, I think.
That's what's happened. Wonder if the studs are the victims of this peculiar tuff that's been laid for this game. And we're having that substitution now. John Hartson is off, and on comes Momo Silla. So Silla on, and again Celtic now have three men up there who are very, very quick. Goal kick. Baldi putting that away. Here's Valharen, who did not have an auspicious opening to this tournament, but has improved. Back by Beattie now. Lennon, very tight across there. Two Celtic youngsters together. That's a free kick now. Celtic should take advantage of this. Well, there's a bit of an argument going on there that's quite unnecessary. The referee trying to usher the Roma player away. That was Lanzaro getting involved needlessly. And this is where they have been able to determine a susceptibility of this defence. With these high cross balls, corner kicks and free kicks. They haven't been picking off their men well. That Hodgson header, remember, as just put over. Well, once again, as he came forward for that, there was a possibility of Silla going in and getting it. There we see it, Tony.
Good call from the referee. Silla never actually made contact with it, seeing it again, so a bit of an elaborate save there from Carlo Zotti. See what Celtic can do from the corner.
Good one across, headed down. An effort there again. And here's the break. This is what Celtic have to avoid. But had they the pace, that's good recovery by Celtic. Valharen has pace and gets back there. Almost like a cavalry charge back down the field.
Well, Craig Beattie decided to leave that for Stephen Pearson. I think Stephen Pearson must have given Beattie a shout, but it never broke to him. And within a second, Celtic were on the back foot.
It may be tiredness, it may be part of the tradition of Italian football that's ingrained in them to play as heavily in defence as they now are. Well, Jim Craig will know all about that from his famous day in Lisbon. But here we're seeing something of the same kind. Nexus gets that away, but not efficiently. And again they break. Cotti caught in possession, as he has been much more often in this half.
Neil Lennon did better that time. He won't be pleased that he was nutmegged by the Roma captain in the first half.
Delas plays with such composure at the back.
From a Celtic point of view, I think they would be quite pleased to see the back of Delas tonight.
Rush forward there. Candela. Try to send that right across the penalty area. Totti brings it down. Good play by Totti. He's not well supported though, he gets it away. Some rich tackling going in at the moment has been sorted out. Totti was right in the middle of that.
You would have to say that Stephen Pearson is a very exciting prospect for Celtic. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination that he is an ordinary player, and I think he was made to look very ordinary there by Francesco Totti.
While the Roma supporters are sensing that their team might just hold out, there's 19 minutes left. Only the one goal in it. And both must be tiring. Celtic have run so hard in the second 45 minutes. They've dominated the play. And they're finding it hard to get that final touch through a chink. Balde.
Celtic seem fairly settled now with three at the back. Volharen on the left, Balde on the right, and Big Stan Varga in the centre, and Didier Gats pushed further forward to match the runs of Ross Wallace on the far side.
That was Totti coming back there again. Inevitably he gets the ball forward very well. Dacour really ought to have pushed that forward. He had to send it back. Here's Agat. Now Valhalla. Now he has some space to operate. Wallace. Beattie comes to give support. I think claiming that there might have been a push in Beattie. Look where Totti is. And he does get the ball away again, almost playing in that right back position. How does he get out of this tight corner? He does like that. Those deft touches. And it's given away very badly that time. That was Kurfi, who's not had a particularly good game, I may say. And played out, yeah, I think tiredness is an element in this match now, Tony.
Yeah, for Bobo Balde especially, he's been finding it difficult to find his fitness. I think for long periods of the game, he's been one of the best Celtic players. Obviously, Ross Wallace and young McGeady are up there as well. Neil Lennon's working very hard, as he always does in midfield. I suppose over the piece it's been a fine display by Celtic, but they're obviously a bit more vulnerable at the back now with only three. And I'm sure Martin O'Neill would like to take this game into penalty kicks, which is where it will go should Celtic get an equaliser.
The plane will just have to wait, Tony. Pearson. There's a pace of Beattie. Yes. Well, Beattie got his penalty kick the other night in Hartford as a result of just getting his head over the ball and going at the defence. And he does have the pace. If you had that kind of asset, that's the sort of way you should, the sort of method you should adopt.
Leandro Curfe was claiming to the referee that Beattie dived there. I'm not convinced about that.
Free kick. Driven across, there it's down and whipped away. That was an opportunity again. They simply haven't been able to control that ball as it's played high in the air. Beattie was in on it, couldn't turn properly, couldn't get the right kind of control. Oh, Wallace has had a field day with these balls into the penalty area. Well, Alan Thompson, of course, sitting this game out, must be even envious of himself at the youngster, the way he's been playing tonight. Trying to find that final touch. This is what I've got to wait for. The trouble is they're outnumbered, the Italians. Look, it's 4 against 1. There was nobody with the strength to come up and support quickly enough. He was left on his own.
Well, Stephen Pearson gave that ball away there, and to his credit, the third attempt, he managed to win it back with a little help from Bobo Baldi.
You just get the impression that I don't think Celtic should worry all that much. If the pace has gone out of the Italians, they shouldn't worry all that much about the counter-attack. It's always there. It should always be in the back of their minds, but you could see that he was totally outrun there, and he had no support.
I'm a bit surprised that Roma haven't made more changes with less than 15 minutes to go.
Indeed. "15 minutes of the game left, in fact. Candela puts it in. Here's Panucci. Totti. Try to play that forward to the forward running Montello. Wasn't to be. Easy one now. There goes Baldi. Thinks better of it. Maggedi going forward. Good control by Maggedi. And I think a free kick there. Yes. Both youngsters on either side, Wallace and Maggedi, are really stretching this defence.
We were talking earlier how Jos Volharen had redeemed himself after that performance at the start of the week, and I think Ulrik Lawson did likewise against Manchester United, and he's going to get a run out now.
Nice little push forward there. Beatty can't control it though. The other point that has to be made, that despite Celtic superiority, Zotti hasn't been called upon to make any great saves. Just been that finishing touch. That's been lacking. Now Maggedi. Try to get himself a little bit of space. Almost got it away again.
Looks like Neil Lennon is the player who is going to make way for Ulrik Lawson, which you would think means that Celtic are going to make some changes to how they're lined up.
Yeah, I think he's coming on, and Neil Lennon comes off. I think he'll be glad of a rest, to be perfectly honest with you. He's another man who's been ever present. He missed that first half in the game against Liverpool, and I think Celtic, to be honest, suffered as a result of that. He didn't defend well from midfield, and that's something that he does superbly well for the club. That's a goal kick, and we have just over 10 minutes remaining. Still the one goal in it. Still the possibility of a penalty shootout. Still the possibility of Jim and Tosh staying in that studio until they have their breakfast. De Martino. Better ball by Panucci. Candela. Almost gets away from Baldi. Still in Atom. And I think he was just glad to get rid of the ball, Candela there. Now can Beatty use his pace? Yes, Delas. That's all Delas had to do there. The attendance tonight, by the way, 50,168. There were 40-odd thousand last night of the game. And I'll tell you what, they don't get these crowds even for baseball in the stadium. And I can tell you something else. A lot of the Toronto people, especially the expatriates, Scottish expatriates, think this place is a bit of a white elephant. However spectacular it may look, it doesn't get the number of people in it that they should. Free kick. So little of the game left. Candela took that brilliantly. Once again, so many Celtic players crowding the Italians in midfield. There was nothing he could do then. And all thoughts now, I'm quite sure, amongst that Celtic support is, are they ready for next Saturday? And onwards to the Champions League. Neatly played out there by Mexes. Still, Celtic have that initiative about them. Decidedly more energy. And Panucci puts it down the line. Valde. Lawson going after that.
Sorry, actually, I think there's a case to say tonight, and I'm well aware of the scoreline, and I'm well aware of the fact that Celtic beat Manchester United in midweek. But I think arguably this is the best Celtic performance we've seen from the four. This is the most composed that they've looked.
Oh, in the second half in particular, they've been quite superior. I mean, if it ended this way, they've been beaten by the guile and the skill of one man. Again, that's a good ball. Beattie has the pace now. Who's coming up in support? A little bit too hard. Wallace can't put it back properly. And Panucci very coolly back there, but I think he was pushed at the same time. And it looks to me as if he's finished.
It was filled by Momo Silla, and I think he's going to lie down there for as long as he'll get away with it. It was a great run in the right-hand side by Craig Beattie. Stephen Pearson was darting through the middle. I don't think Beattie saw him. He opted to put the ball to the back post for Ross Wallace.
Well, the replay shown there.
Well, I'm very surprised, actually, because we would never get away with that back home in Scotland, to show replays of dubious events such as that foul by Momo Silla, but it's shown in a huge screen here behind David
Actually,
Marshall's
there's a little
goal.
bit of aggro going on at the moment down there, and one or two of the players were exchanging pleasantries. Seems to have subsided. Well, that's a very valid point you make. It's not so much maybe about decisions that go one way or the other, but if you show real aggression, a vicious foul, for example, I think it just incites passions on the terracings apart from anything else. Now, what happened there was the Roma players saw that incident, so did the supporters, and they reacted, not to the incident, but to the replay. Totti. Great play by Totti. Candela going forward. Puts that right over. There's a chance. It's a side net. Knocked in there by Montella, and he had a player on the other side of him. He could have swept it over. And again, that came from the genius of Totti in midfield. That should have been sent across goal.
Well, that's the danger that Celtic have to live with when they're desperate to find an equaliser. They're going to leave spaces at the back.
Just missing out on that, but a free kick.
Stephen Pearson a bit fortunate there, I think.
Yep.
He just took too long in that ball. And Montella was well within his rights, I think, to go for it.
We've got exactly 5 minutes remaining. I think there'll be stoppage time. Now, can Celtic save this? Can we go into a penalty shootout? I've already watched one today down in New York, where United were beaten again on penalties. Although I have to be honest and say that they were deprived of a victory by a cynical ploy by Italian player who faked a dive blatantly. Varga tried to come forward. Valharen. Inspiration coming from the terracing for Celtic. Varga tries his shot, getting right underneath it. Not so much a tired shot there. He was pursued very closely by Dacour. Balde mistiming that time. And Momosilla seems to be enjoying the physical contact. Free kick. Now make it about 3.5 minutes remaining. Totti is after this. He almost got a little bit of purchase on it.
And once again, he came from nowhere there. Just didn't manage to make the right contact at the wind-up, but very, very dangerous player.
Well, he reads the game very well. He anticipated the ball played forward. And when you're going to play like that, you can send it forward to him confidently. Vargas pushed forward into midfield. Valharen. Hooked away now. The Italians have got players forward here. Totti. I think he wanted to push that forward again to Montella.
The ball is concentrated more in the middle of the park now. Sorry to interrupt you. Just especially in the last 10 or 15 minutes, it stopped going wide to the right to where Didier Gat's now playing, and it certainly stopped going to the left where Ross Wallace is playing, and that's where Celtic were getting most of their success.
Well, somebody has broken onto the field, running around, and I think he's going to be disposed of. In fact, both a Celtic supporter and an Italian, and he's been rather brusquely dealt with.
Well, again, that's a difference in policy, because back home the policy is that if it's only one fan, you just ignore him and wait till he gets fed up, rather than chase him about the park. That's really, really foolish. And a real disappointment for the club, because the Celtic fans have been in top form tonight, both in and outside the stadium.
Well, actually, I think the Celtic supporters are appreciating that he has been dealt with. I don't think they're too happy about somebody, an idiot like that. The trouble is, Tony, clubs, you know, it only takes one or two, and sometimes it could be magnified. But the Celtic support throughout the trip have been marvellous. Way goes again. As I said, Celtic were winning most of these balls played forward. There's a chase.
Clarkson with Silla. Silla favouring now that right-hand side, or four. So midfield is now Silla, Lennon, Pearson and Peta. Pressure applied again in midfield by Fulham, not allowing Celtic to set at all. It's a good layoff by Fernandez. Peta steps inside very nimbly indeed. This is good play by Peta. Still in possession. Setting that up for Silla. It's a great chance. Now Hartson! Celtic take the lead. And it was set up by last season's Fulham loan player Bobby Peta, with some outstanding play from the flanks. Look at Peta coming inside here, getting away from Knight, who didn't bring him down. Bonacill was sucked inside. This is a good cutback from Silla for Hartson. It's a very bright start to the match for Celtic, and John Hartson indeed will be very happy about his opening to the game.
That was good positive play by Bobby Peta, driving in field. The defender had to make a decision about whether he brought him down. He allowed him to continue. A poor decision by Bonacill to come inside, and they always had a man over Celtic, and I must say Mohamed Silla showed great composure. He could have tried a shot at goal himself, but he knew John Hartson was lying in wait. A nice cutback, and although it wasn't the cleanest of strikes, John Hartson got a great start to the season for him to get a goal so early.
Well, Celtic in front, but they've had to make a change very early on. Young Stephen McManus suffering an injury. He had to depart the scene, and he's been replaced by the experienced figure of Jackie McNamara. So certainly Celtic retaining all the strength required in that department with McNamara coming on. Longest serving player at the club, signed in 1995 from Dunfermline. Clarkson losing out there to Pearce. Lennon to McNamara. Here's Peta. That'll give him a lot of confidence, Bobby Peta. Something he seemed to be lacking late in his time with Celtic in particular, and didn't appear to recapture that at Fulham. Free kick it is to Celtic. So the injured player of Stephen McManus, McNamara, is on.
He was involved in a challenge early on, McManus, in which he slipped and gave Fulham a half chance. I just wonder whether that's been the source of the injury.
This is a Agat. Cleared there by Pearce. Third corner, this time Agat is set to take that. Waiting for some help from Bobby Peta. Petrov, of course, a corner kick man normally. He's not involved this afternoon. Varga and Lawson joining Hartson in the box. Young Clinton comes and makes a good punch. This is Agat. And Silla on the way of Varga there. There's a chance for a counter-attack now for Fulham. With plenty of pace going forward. This is Boamorte. Hammond. Goes down rapidly by McNamara, good defending.
Quite interesting, Celtic's corner there. Jock, they always bring two players out, and they had a chance to work a quick one, but they weren't interested in that. The whole ploy is to attract a couple of the opposition out towards the ball and allow room for the big boys up from the back to go and attack the ball.
Shot way up there from Fernandez, allowing the challenge, a very tough challenge there from Raymond. Ball's out of play. Oh no, a tug of the shirt, says the linesman. Free kick given to Fulham. McNamara was the culprit. So it will be a free kick indeed, rather than a throw. Well, a good start for Celtic. Martin O'Neill and John Robertson looking very calm about the whole thing so far. There's Bonacill flighting the ball into the far side, looking for Pearce. Marshall takes it calmly. Good piece of handling by the youngster. Very big season coming for David Marshall after bursting in the scene so effectively, especially that European match in Barcelona, and now having to settle down to the bread and butter of week-to-week duties in the Celtic goal if he can hold his place. Hartson and Pearce together. It's well stolen by Fernandez. Was the hand used by Bonacill? It appeared to be the case. Good play from McKinley. There's Bonacill. Raymond couldn't take that on the run. Back now with Pearson. Lawson breaking from the back. Sped that through well to Peta, who's just offside. A delightful finish attempted there by Peta. No pressure, of course. They knew the flag was up. The whistle had gone.
Of course, Martin Lawson will be very keen to show that, first of all, he's regained fitness and that he can show the required quality to press Martin O'Neill into consider him as a regular first team player.
Order restore the midfield there by McKinley for Bonnie Self. Here's Beaumorte. Good angle made there by Raymond to take the pass. Blocked by Van. McKinley again. Rosinha. Over the top for Hammond, and the covering player was Varga. It was required because Lawson was turned very well by Hammond's pace.
Very important there on the back four that our centre back gets round and provides the cover as Varga did there.
Well, there must be a long throw possibility here from Raymond. Zesh Raymond, the 19-year-old midfield player. Corner kick, in fact, is being given. It's a corner kick. That's why Raymond's out there. Celtic compete so well in both boxes at corner kicks. Plenty of strength and height. Marcel made his name at Bordeaux principally, the spell with Montpellier, then Deportivo La Coruña. And while in Bordeaux, he's had a spell on loan at Rangers. Pearson playing it back for Marshall. Header away by Pearce.
With Beaumorte being pushed on just very slightly on the left-hand side there, Stephen Pearson is over in that right-hand half of the pitch along with Neil Lennon just to make sure that they don't get caught with an overload against them. But it gives Bobby Petta plenty of room on this side if they can get the ball to him.
They've managed it this time. Good play by Lawson. Here's Petta. He has Pearson ahead of him now. That's a strong tackle. Good play there by Darren Pratley for Fulham, youngster. Another youngster. Oh, that's a good turn of pace by Beaumorte. Assessing options ahead. That's well closed down by Celtic, and Agat leads the charge from defence. This is Hartson. Silla favouring that right touch line in the middle of a midfield four, the flank of the midfield four. There's Hartson now. That's very surprising that Chris Coleman really chose to come out with so many youngsters in the starting lineup against the team he was trying to Celtic.
Well, I think even allowing for a friendly match, you're right. I think a team of the quality of Celtic, and even allowing for them maybe playing one or two youngsters on your home ground, you would want, I think, to get a good footing in the game and maybe bring the younger ones on later. But clearly, when they're bringing on a whole new team in the second half, he's maybe not taking the game or the result that seriously.
There's Collins John to McKinley. Rosinha back to Knight. Raymond's pass. This is Pratley. Just controlled that. He's spinning the ball, beat him, I think. Going possession again with Beaumorte, asking a lot of Bonicel, and the pressure instantly from Agat. Silla goes outside him. Good movement from Silla. Hartson waits in the middle with Fernandez. Reaches Petta. Good block by Flintney. This is Pearson. Could so easily have been goal number 2 for Celtic.
Well, it was a great overlap by Silla in the first place, and I think the cross was of a decent quality. There was a challenge made, and it fell at the back post, then knocked down, and Stephen Pearson coming onto his weaker foot, as we'll see here. It's a good strike from Petta. Pearson comes onto it, and he gets a really good contact on it. Down into the ground is always going to give a goalkeeper problem there, and he's got to go down as a good chance.
Bobby Petta was the most disappointed player in that move. It was a great chance for him to score for Celtic against his former teammates. Free kick goes to Fulham. Miscue there by Knight. He's trying to pick out Beaumorte with a very early free kick, but catch that properly. Very poor pass by Agat. Marshall was quick to the ball and used his weaker side to clear. Celtic slow getting players out there. Bonicel had room for the cross. Lennon's clearance. Petter may prevent the corner. He has now conceded the throw.
The type of things that you're likely to see in pre-season games where, you know, first of all it was kind of poor play by Agat defensively, but then they allow the throw-in to be taken with no challenge whatsoever, and a half a chance for Fulham with a good ball across the box.
Silla breaks. He has Fernandez going through the inside right channel. Hartson's dropped off on the left. There's Pearson. Raymond in midfield, doing well for Fulham. It's a big chance this too, Billy, for David Fernandez in particular. I mean, after his spell at Livingston, didn't make the real impact he wanted with Celtic initially. And with Henrik Larsson's departure, could he be the replacement?
Well, there are a number we've mentioned. You know, obviously the likes of Silla and Lawson, people like that can, you know, still got a bit to prove.
Larsson trying to control that and set up Petter inside. Clearance from Knight.
Yeah, the point I was making there was that Fernandez has maybe, you know, reinvented himself a wee bit by having such a good spell at Livingston, and was, you know, instrumental in getting them to the CIS Cup final. So, you know, he should be up in terms of confidence, but he still has to prove that he can do it week in, week out for Celtic.
Petter's corner kick, the outswinger this time. A header from Silla. Did well to reach the ball, but was under pressure all the way. Yeah, Silla also another of these players with a bit to prove.
Well, I think it's very difficult to tie down his best position. Maybe the way Celtic have had to line up today as a wide right in the middle four there maybe suits him best, where he has a wide area to go and run, he has a gap with the pace to go down behind him, and indeed, you know, he was played a big part in the goal with a good overlap and run round the gap.
So possession back with Fulham on the free kick. Switch of play. Wilsonier to Bonicel. Ball Morty shows himself in the left touchline. Matched carefully there by Agat. Here's Raymond. No sign of Legrinsky or Lee Clark for Fulham. The starting line-up. That's a good effort. Well saved by Marshall from Collins John. Gap appearing there in the Celtic defence.
Well, it started with Lawson getting just a bit too impatient in terms of trying to win the ball, and Jackie McNamara, as he did so often last year, gets a crucial challenge in to stop the first chance, but the ball broke kindly and it was a good save by Marshall.
Larson's head out, that's McKinley working hard to keep that down. Spins away there for the goal kick. How McKinley would have enjoyed scoring against Celtic.
It was a difficult one. He was in the back foot and knew that he had to try and keep it down as he tried to you know, execute that. You see it here, the header out. Plenty of style, but not on target, obviously.
Larson did well, climbing though on the shoulders of Pearce. Messias gives the free kick to Fulham.
It's always such a difficult one, that, for central defenders, if they have somebody that comes flat across them. I don't know if that was a foul. Certainly not in the old days, but nowadays referees are a bit more particular.
Certainly not in the old days, that's for sure, Bill. Vouch for that. Here's Pearce. Asking a lot of Bonicel. Well, in fairness, Bonicel is getting a lot of space out there. He is a good outlet for Fulham from defence at the moment. Fulham have switched Lewis Boamorty to the right and Darren Trackley to the left. Good little flick on there from Hartson. He is very adept at that kind of layoff.
Well, he's such a strong guy, but he does have a great touch for a big lad, and you know, he is a deft header of the ball as well in terms of just bringing people in.
Headed by Lawson, helped on by McNamara. Possession now back with Fulham. Here's Raven again, trying to link with Boamorte. This is Boamorte. John leaves that to Boamorte again. Here's John. Real eye for goal, this youngster. Gallagher and McNamara really well. So treated Lennon. Strong play once again from Hartson to find Fernandez. He's on his own though. He needs to hold things up. He does so very effectively. Here's Hartson. Good defence reaction quickly enough, but Peta in a little tangle there with Knight, and Peta is the player penalised. Very much a catch-weight contest that.
Yeah, he's a big lad Knight. Made a real impression last year as Fulham had such a good season. And the thing that impresses me is he does try to play from the back and develop as a ball-playing type of centre-half, but of course you need to be aggressive as well as he was there.
Vargas header. Good ball from Fernandez to Hartson. He's not going to run away from him, Rosinha, that's for sure. Links up well though with Peta. That's awkward. Ross Flitney trying to persuade his defenders. He had that well under control, the keeper.
I don't know about that. It was not quite the cross that Bobby Peta intended, but it almost clips in here at the back post. Just look at the change that Fulham have made. I think the reasoning behind Chris Coleman's decision there is maybe to have Boamorte have a wee go at Jackie McNamara on this side. Clearly, they've identified that Agat's pace is going to make it difficult to get Boamorte in on the other side.
Bonicel forward, here's Hammond. Well, McNamara had plenty of time there, but wouldn't know so much about that. Had to play it safe and did so very effectively. Corner kick to Fulham, which Zesh Raymond will take. Number 6 there for them. That's Zesh Raymond. Very impressive opening to the game. And Knight showing his danger with that good leap with the header just wide.
It's not often that Celtic have to deal with a player that's bigger than anything they have to offer, and Zach Knight certainly comes into that category. But they do mark zonally at corner kicks Celtic, and against a guy like Knight, it gives him a wee bit of room to get a run on them, and as we saw there, if he does that, he's liable to get above them and pose a real threat.
Well, he is above Hartson this time. It's a good contest. Lennon forced to hurry by McKinley. McNamara. Hartson losing out to Raymond. Rosinha. Back from Knight. Clumsy touch there from Varga, but it fell kindly for Pearson. This is Lennon. His eye off the ball there, Hartson. Caught in two minds, I think. Now Pratley. Raymond. Headed away there by Lawson. That's good play again from Raymond. Across to Bonicel. Pratley calls the ball ahead. With a good angle, Pratley, but Raymond's the preferred option ahead. Hustled out of that by a combination of Silla and Lennon. McNamara. Peta under pressure instantly.
Billy McKinlay making his presence felt there, and Bobby Petty wasn't too over enamoured with it.
What did he expect? Here's Bonicel. Strong defending by Varga once again. He has been a revelation at Celtic, Varga. His career seemed to be going pretty well nowhere until he arrived at Celtic Park. Difficult times at Sunderland. Petty. Eased out of that by Boa Morte. That's a good change of foot there, and a block made by Marshall. Well, there's the menace of Luis Boa Morte.
But you see the benefit of having him on the right hand side. He's cut inside, and you know, he's had a really strong shot down at the bottom corner with his left foot, and Marshall scrambled across and dealt with it competently.
Well, Knight reacted well there. There was a tangle, an accidental tangle between Pearce and Hartson, which put Knight under pressure. Now Pratley. Free kick for the foul on Lennon by Raymond. Here's Silla, and now Lennon. Varga trying to pick out Petty with that very long pass. He's done so brilliantly. Theo Petty now with a great shooting chance. Oh, he loves those deft little chips. Great pass from Varga, that.
Absolutely spot on, because what it does is it goaded the defender into thinking that he had a chance of cutting it out before it got to Petty. Once he's made the decision that he can't get there, he's put himself out of the game. And Bobby Petty, maybe a sign of the confidence, having been instrumental in the first goal, tries to chip the goalkeeper.
Back now with Pearce, and now Knight. That's well struck indeed, and in behind goes Hammond with a shooting chance. And Collins John just out of reach for that played across the face of goal. Petty's dummy did not deceive Rossignol. He wanted the throw, he's not getting it. Celtic decision. Mark O'Neill pondering what alterations may be appropriate.
Well, I'd be concerned there about Didier Agathe being caught on the wrong side with that long through ball. I mean, Fulham have tried to pass it through, but he should still be on guard for that type of thing, because it almost presented a chance.
Fernandez is taking a knock. He's limping on the halfway line as Fulham try to get forward. Pratley will take the throw. This is Bonicel. Sparga so strong there. Now Petty. Was he pushed? Yes, says the referee. And Billy McKinlay giving some earache to the referee about the earlier incident at the other end when Varga won the challenge. Well, this is all about McKinlay and the referee Messias exchanging views very, very forcefully. In fact, I think it's a pre-season friendly that prevented the yellow card coming out for McKinlay.
Absolutely. When you start raising your finger in the referee's face, there's usually only one outcome, and I think the fact it's a pre-season friendly, as you say, is the only reason he wasn't booked there.
Celtic building in the back again with Ulrich Larsson. Petty. Oh, nimble feet. Good play by Petty. It's just too long, I think, for Hartson. Yeah, they had that under control, the keeper.
A good situation for Celtic. I didn't feel he had to rush that and play that type of pass. Bobby Petty had Fernandez in good position to run at the back players and perhaps slip Hartson in.
Rossignol forward. This is an opportunity for Hammond to play in Raymond. Push on the back by Michael. The referee was indulgent there, I have to say. Celtic in possession. Here's Fernandez. Seems to recover from that knock he took a few moments ago. Strong tackle by Bonacill, and Silla from the back. It looked like a foul, but the referee thought not. Pratley plays it short for Rossignol. Raymond takes over. Fernandez holding off the challenge there from John. Wins the throw for Celtic. Over the piece, Billy, you think that Martin will be fairly satisfied with his performance?
I think so. When it's the first game, I think the pace of the game has been pretty decent, considering it's, as I say, Celtic's first game. They've pressed the ball quite well, been quite energetic, got up and down the pitch. I think he'll be reasonably happy.
Pratley forced there to turn it back. He's expressing his frustration to his teammates about the fact there are little options available to him. Pearson tackled strongly there by McKinley. Raymond to Rossignol. Pearce to Bonacill. Pratley wants it played early ahead to him, but it's played forward to Hammond instead. He's very quick indeed. Here's Hammond. Now Raymond. Going straight into Lennon. Regards pass picks out Fernandez. Good movement offered by Peta through the middle. Matched though by Rossignol, and the goalkeeper. A swipe with fresh air. Rossignol reacted quickly enough to tidy up. Back now with McNamara. Time here for Lawson. Not too much time because Bowen Walker closed them down very quickly indeed and made that pass back inevitable. Pearce to Bonacill. Eased over that well by Silla. Good leap again by Knight against Hartson. It's good play by Pearson, shielding the ball from McKinley. Peta once again. Gap there for McNamara to go forward. Pass missed out Fernandez. Determined play there by Fernandez, but he's the player penalised. Not Rossignol for the shot pull which came later.
You get the feeling that Fulham want to try and push high up the pitch and defend there. There's not quite got to grips with it in the middle of the pitch. Celtic, I think, have got the upper hand there, and it's making it difficult. There's areas for Celtic players to run into. They're sixes and sevens a wee bit, this Fulham back four.
This time leap there by Lawson, but the cover provided by Varga. Here's the outlet again for Fulham through Bonacill at left back. Pratley's his midfield colleague ahead of him. And the hustling play there of Silla made life difficult for the 18-year-old Pratley. Here's Knight. Now McKinley. And there was a foul on McKinley. Whistle going rather late, give the benefit of the doubt to the referee that he was trying to allow an advantage. It's a long way out this, but Zach Knight in the past has been known to hit some rockets from long range. And he's the man lining this up. No, Bonacill flights it in towards Pearce. Good header across, won by McNamara. Good play there by Rossignol. Ball off, he steps away from Peta. Varga attacks the ball, doesn't quite get there, but Diriagat did. Back with Pratley. Peta needed the defending and gets some help from Lennon, who prevented the corner kick there. Fulham applying some pressure now late in the first half. Celtic still leading by John Hartson's goal in 8 minutes. And that with a corner kick off Lawson as Hammond tried to get the cross in.
I think we've seen that wee passage of play there that Varga and Lawson are obviously the big boys in the Celtic back four, but Agat won a crucial header, and then Jackie McNamara as well. They do certainly defend their goal as if their life depended on it, even in pre-season friendlies.
Short corner taken to Raymond and Roy Morty together. Header away from Silla. Here's McKinley trying a dipping volley, which is deflected for the corner.
The best spell of pressure in the game, Fulham. They've obviously had the game last week against Watford, which was quite unusual in lots of ways, but you'd expect their fitness level to be just slightly ahead of Celtic.
Ravens corner again, McNamara's header out. Played forward hopefully by Rossignol. He gets a second chance now. That's a little sideways pass to McKinley. Celtic attacking the ball there at the edge of the box. Silla brings it clear. This is Pearson. Stopped instantly by Rossignol.
I think that's where Mohamed Salah lets himself down. He wants to take too many touches. He could have had that pass away to Pearson much earlier, and Pearson facing the play could have been away and doing a bit of damage, but he delayed it, and it ended up the Fulham player getting a good challenge in Pearson.
A good pass this time by Fernandez, picks out Peta. Well, once, I think he was fouled, I thought initially, but survived that, then it was faced by a very good tackle. Larson's pace being tested fully by Hammond. Oh, that's great play by Marshall. Very much a favourite for these Celtic supporters behind him. Here's that Knight. Good header down by Varga. Not just clearing the ball, but picking out a teammate. That's carelessness by Pearson. Raymond's pass is a good one, and that's fine goalkeeping once again by Marshall.
Poor play by Stephen Pearson there, Jock. I think that type area of the pitch, you're not trying to be playing for wee nutmegs or to knock wee balls through. He just should have protected the ball and even played a square pass to keep possession.
McKinley's pass collected by Ball Morty, who was fouled by Peta. Foul acknowledged by Bobby Peta. Ball Morty's free kick's a poor one, an easy one to clear for Varga. Lawson did well. This is Peta once again, seeing a lot of the ball in the first half. Pearson, Fernandez. This is Peta once again. Space for McKinley. Movement from Bonacill on the left, but the pass forward intended for Hammond is picked up by Varga. Lots of those little softies out of defence too. He set up Silla extremely well. Agat goes sprinting forward. Chance for the cutback perhaps. Litney has to check back. Well, it was aimed for Hartson. Retrieved by Peta. Celtic building again. Fernandez. Well tackled by Knight. Bonacill prevents the corner. Good turn of pace there by Hammond. Strong challenge by Lennon. I think in terms of the ability of the players who perhaps are on trial to some extent, you know, they're thinking about Silla and Fernandez and Peta, people of that kind. What do you think the respective performances have done?
Well, I think first of all, you know, it's the first game for them as well, and you always have to take that into account. But you're right, they're not going to have a lot of time to prove themselves before Martin O'Neill maybe brings in a new player or two. But I think generally they've done okay today. I think the problem for Fernandez is with the loss of Larsson, whether it's John Hartson or Chris Sutton up front, the other player I feel has to be one that works into the corners as Larsson did. At the moment he just plays through the middle, he wants to come off and pick up balls in the middle of the pitch, and he is good at getting turned on players and using his creative ability, but it might not just be the mix that Celtic need. I think Silla has shown what he has. He's very athletic, he's got a good engine. As I say, for me he takes too many touches.
Well, half-time whistle goes. Celtic leading by a goal to nil. The goal scored early on by John Hartson. Most of the creative work done by Bobby Peta. We're going to see a second half with lots of changes. Certainly a full team change for Fulham. We'll look forward to that. But for Celtic, a satisfactory opening 45-minute period. At half-time, it's Fulham 0, Celtic 1.
Thanks, Jock. Billy, get your initial reaction on the first half.
Well, very much Celtic in control. Good pre-season game and a good game which to introduce the lads to the new season. They've accommodated it very well, and really over the game, over the 45 minutes, I felt they controlled the bulk of the play.
Are you expecting many changes to be made in the second half? Are you expecting Fulham to change the whole team?
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? But yeah, Celtic, I've no doubt, will make a few changes. You know, obviously, I think Martin wants to accommodate as many players as he can in the first game, and I think he'll do that.
Okay, Bill, let's go through some of the first half analysis for you. This is Silla, who had the first real opportunity for Celtic early doors, but didn't quite just get it out from under his feet.
Yeah, that was one. I think they overworked the ball just a little bit there, and you know, when he came to, he might well have had a go early, right away, a first-time touch, but he looked to take the touch. Immediately you do that, you allow defenders the opportunity to get close to you.
Well, of course, Bobby Peta was on loan here for the last half of last season. Never played here at Craven Cottage, but he set up John Hartson's opener. An excellent run by Bobby Peta.
It was a good run, and it was a good ball into Silla. Silla quickly transferred it to John Hartson, and John Hartson inside the box has got that ability to put the ball in the net, but you'll be glad to see a goal coming as early as this. He had a long spell out, as you know, at the end of last season, so when the ball comes back to him, there's only one thing in his mind, and he tucked it away comfortably.
Because important for John Hartson and for Bobby Peta. For Bobby first, because it's an opportunity to impress the manager. He's only got a year left. And for John, of course, who came back from a couple of nasty little injuries last season.
He did. He had some niggling injuries last season, but you know, obviously he's a player who's got lots of goals in him, and inside that box he's always a massive threat. Bobby Peta, I think, is determined to show Fulham what they're really missing. He, of all the Celtic players, has probably had the most explosive first half.
David Marshall, young David Marshall, commanding his area as always.
Yeah, it's astonishing to think that he's only 19, and tremendous composure, reads the game well. He's there to make the good save. He didn't have an awful lot to do in that first half, but he had one very good save, and he also came out and took the ball away from the feet of one of the Fulham players. He watches the game and keeps his eye on things. This is a good opportunity. Stephen Pearson, unfortunately, it comes to his right foot, not his left, and although he hit a good effort, didn't put it on target, but you know, it's just indicative of Celtic's positive play in that first half.
This is Bobby Peta and John Hartson linking up well, haven't they?
They have indeed, yes. John obviously shows himself and offers himself. He's a big, powerful lad, and when he gets in, he's astute enough to lay off the passes. He knows what he's doing. Okay, Billy, thanks for just now. Okay, let's get some reaction now from our pitchside reporter, Scott Booth.
Hi, it's a brilliant opening start to the games here. You can see that Celtic fans are really enjoying themselves. I think a 1-0 first half, they'll be very happy with that. It was an absolutely brilliant finish by John Hartson, and I'm sure the Celtic fans are going to be delighted to watch the second half.
Thanks for just now, Scott. Hopefully we'll be getting some post-match interviews with Scott after the game. Scott just mentioned there, just in his little report, about the Celtic fans here. Just they filled half the stadium, Billy, and they're just making so much noise as always.
Well, they enjoy this. They enjoy coming to away grounds. They don't get the opportunity so often to come down here, but when that opportunity is given to them, they take it in abundance. And they're terrific. They're good fun. They might have a drink or two, but they seem to be able to behave themselves. And the one thing they do is they give atmosphere to the ground. I mean, this ground is early as this season, so tremendous atmosphere.
This was an excellent save from David Marshall. The only real opportunity for Fulham, would you say, in the first half, Billy?
Yeah, they had one, I think, after that, but that was a real opportunity, a good save. That's typical of that young man. He seems to keep his composure, keeps his eye on the game, makes the save when it's important to make it.
Well, we just mentioned Bobby Petton. He actually had an opportunity as well just before the half-time whistle. Silla moving down the right wing as he crosses the ball. The actual goalkeeper made an excellent save first of all, and then we talked about Stephen Pearson shooting on the wrong side.
Yeah, the goalkeeper was in the right place, blocked Bobby Petton's ball shot. I think he did the right thing, but the one thing about Stephen Pearson, he's on the edge of the box where he should be, so he's supporting his attack, getting an extra player in that box, and although he hit it over the bar, he's in the right position to have the shot.
We talked to Billy about the...
We know that we still have a lot of work to be done, but in the first half the boys worked very hard. We scored one goal, and that was enough to lead in the result.
It was a nice finish by John Hartson here.
Yeah, it's a great touch from John Hartson. All the attack was great from Bobby and Momo, so it's been a good goal.
Are you coming on the second half?
Yeah, I'm coming on now.
Sailing, all the best, okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
A key factor as well, you said sensibly, Joe. There's been real competition all over the pitch. Nobody's had much time to settle on the ball, which is unusual in one of the early games in pre-season. Everybody's been at it and closing people down, and I think that's a bonus in terms of getting to a
possibility of seeing some new young Celtic players, apart from Aidan McGeady when talking about it at half time, but Kevin McBride may come on, Darren O'Day, Scott Cuthbert, youngsters like that may have the chance. Do you think we'll see one or two of these?
I think certainly in these early games, Martin O'Neill's still to make the signings that I'm sure he will do. These young lads are going to feature, I think, particularly because players playing 90 minutes at this stage of the season can pick up knocks and strains, so I'm sure Martin O'Neill will use the full complement today.
Stevenage Celtic Supporters Club, Hertfordshire. That's quite remarkable, isn't it, from so many fans from all over the place. And one of the things that is a feature, and it's commonly commented on, the number of Celtic fans who turn out for pre-season friendlies. There's a badge going away to America shortly. It's quite remarkable, isn't it?
Oh, you can see the attraction of other clubs playing the Old Firm. It's a financial gain for them right away in a pre-season friendly. I mean, they're filling the stand behind the goal there and right round the stand opposite us, so they're outnumbering the Fulham fans as far as we can see, and that's testament to the Celtic fans particularly.
An opportunity as we just saw from the Stevenage supporters club, Slough and Harrow supporters club here also. We're looking around, all the banners indicating parts of England represented now by the Celtic supporters. But let's have a mention too for Fulham, Billy, because they turned out 5 youngsters in the first half. They're going to bring on another 5 teenagers in the second half, coming through their academy system. Does this tell us something?
Who knows what faith he has in these youngsters in terms of holding down first team places? We don't really know that, but as I say, it's an opportunity for them. And
just talking about that subject of bringing in new players, I mean, there's an assumption.
I think we've mentioned Silla and Lawson and Fernandez, people like that, and you could argue that when Martin brought them, that they were being brought as squad players. I think to replace Henrik Larsson, and that's going to have to be done in some sort of different forum, because he's irreplaceable. I think that's something that everybody will agree.
Well, the Celtic team coming out, we've seen changes already. We've seen Aidan McGeady's coming out there. Craig Beattie's also playing. Stilian Petrov is out, so we'll need to sort out the alterations. But there's Aidan McGeady, who will be certainly a major attraction for the Celtic supporters travelling here and those watching at home to see just how he has progressed and how he can make an impact at this level. And John Hartson is still there. Chris Sutton is also out. So they really start working very hard here to sort out how the Celtic team is going to line up for this second half, because we've got Hartson and Sutton up front. Craig Beattie's playing. We've got Aidan McGeady also on, and Vinny Agat is back out for the second half, so it looks as though it's going to be Agat, Varga, Lawson and McNamara across the back. Magnus Hedman is in goal, and then Craig Beattie wide on the right, Petrov and Lennon in midfield, with McGeady on the left and Sutton and Hartson up front. So there's Magnus Hedman, who will get his chance ahead of Brad Douglas. He's in there replacing David Marshall. See if he can, after his loan spell in Italy last season, he can come back and establish himself once again. Fulham 2, you hear the tannoy reading out all the changes made by Fulham. They've changed every player for this second half, and that means we're going to see players like Morris Bolts, Sylvain Legwinski, Alan Goma, Mark Pembridge, Bakunda Saba, top first-class first-team players who are in the side, and around them a bunch of youngsters. Mark Crossley is in goal, 54-year-old goalkeeper, Welsh international. So Mark O'Neill has done his tinkering, acknowledges the Celtic supporters as he makes his way to the dugout at the start of the second half. Well, I think we've been treated in the first half to some very good play, and I suspect we'll be exactly in the same position in the second half as Celtic get us underway. So here's McGeady's first touch, back it comes to McNamara. A long ball from Lawson. Defence remaining unchanged. They had to make one change early on when Stephen McManus was forced to go off to injury, to be replaced early by Jackie McNamara. But here's McGeady. Hartson's calling for the ball. You didn't get it though, and Petrov takes over. Sutton now to Lennon. Pressure applied by Legwinski. He's the enforcer in midfield for Fulham normally. This is Beattie playing wide on the right. It's not his natural position, and it'll be interesting to see how he copes with that. So a reminder again of the Celtic lineup: Agat at right back, Varga and Lost at centre back, McNamara at left back, Beattie wide on the right, Petrov and Lennon in the centre of midfield, McGeady on the left, and up front Hartson and Sutton. This is Sava, the Argentinian, stumbling over the ball, allowing Petrov to play it back to Lawson. This is now McNamara. McGeady peels off the touchline looking for possession. It's closed down quickly by Doherty for Fulham. Give you an indication too of the Fulham changes and the side they have out now. Crossley is there in goal. The back four has Bolts, who's the regular right back, and Leacock centre back alongside Alan Goma, now in possession, and young Adam Green, a very highly regarded left back, is in the side here. And we're going to see how they settle down. New striking partnership they have. Sava is playing up front now, and he'll have some support. Ishmael Ehui is a very highly regarded academy striker. Michael Timlin on the left of the midfield, Pembridge in the centre of the midfield with Legwinski, and on the right hand side Doherty. That was Sava challenged by Agat. So the throw will be taken by Adam Green. This is Pembridge, who's recovered from injury after being out for a long spell last season. Sava's pass, that's Timlin playing it back. This is Green. Pembridge. Back it comes to Goma. Alan Goma. Leacock plays it across to Bolts, the German 21-year-old from Arsenal. Good interception made by Lawson, who's acquitted himself very well. Making so far one or two misjudged high balls. This is Beattie just offside.
Must be quite a bizarre situation for the Celtic players. They're facing a whole new team at the start of the second half here.
And Mark Crossley in goal, allegedly a target for Leeds United. They want an experienced goalkeeper in the season to come. Legwinski playing it into space. Chasing player is Sean Doherty. He's beaten the ball by McNamara. This is Petrov under pressure from Legwinski. Pressure was too severe there from the Frenchman. Sutton to Larson. It's a different kind of attacking formation now. Neither Sutton nor Larson are going to run past players, are they?
Well, I think it was obviously you know, there'll be an onus on Stilly and Petrov, particularly Stephen Pearson off the pitch now, but you know, with that front pairing, I think you must have runners from the middle of the pitch that are willing to run by front players.
McGarry's pass is a good one to Sutton. Attempted the return pass. This is Bolts. Pressure play by Sutton. Away by Leacock. This is Ihui. And now Legwinski. Savard's header down to Pembridge. It's for Timlin to chase. Good play again by Agat. Back to Headman.
It was good play. He had to be patient there, Agat. He knew the player was coming to make a challenge, but he was in control of the situation and got a good header back to Headman.
Trademark Petrov play, charging through midfield. This is Beattie. Well tackled by Goma. And now Lennon. Hartson peeling off to the right, tackled instantly by young Adam Green. This is Beattie again, good turn of pace. Chance here for Celtic. And a good block by Crossley. Beattie tried to use Sutton as a decoy inside. And the save was made by Crossley.
Yeah, it was all started with Neil Lennon playing the ball wide here. Strong challenge there. The book gets the break of the ball, Beattie, but then he's across the defender, across the byline. He's looked up and he has seen Chris Sutton there, decided not to use him, and the goalkeeper does everything right. He's not going to lose a goal at the near post.
Petrov, the normal corner kick man, takes that. That's well taken out of the air by Crossley. This is Doherty. Positive play by the young back it comes now to Pembridge for the shot at goal, and that's on his right foot. Not perhaps his better one, but he hit that very crisply. Good attacking play by Fulham.
It was unusual because normally from an attacking corner, just as we saw there, Neil Lennon gets across and makes it a 2-on-1 when they do break out, but young Doherty got maybe a wee break of the ball, but he was quite confident and positive, and you know, as I say, normally they don't get away from Neil Lennon.
Bolts to Pembridge. Timlin. Green sets off the support on the outside. Green and Leacock, both 19. And then Doherty, Ehui and Timlin. All teenagers also in this Fulham lineup for the second half. Feature of all these young players to Billy seems to be the pace. They've all got terrific pace, haven't they, these young players?
They really do, yeah. I mean, it's such a feature of the modern game. And we see it at the highest level, how important it is. And you know, for young ones coming in, if they have that, they've got a start.
Was it Hui trying to get away from Lawson? McNamara gave some help from Sean Doherty here. He'll take the throw. Oh, it's good play by McGeady. Taking on Bolts again. Now Petrov. Hartson. BT to Agat. Good little layoff there from Sutton to Hartson. Here's Petrov with the attempt and goal! Brilliant play by Petrov. Oh, what a goal that would have been.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, the gap plays it, and what a wee flick round the corner from Chris Sutton. John Hartson plays it back. It's a dinky through ball. Petrov really makes it big there, and it's a wee flick over his head, and really intuitive there. It's a great effort. I actually thought it was just going to creep in at the near post.
So Mark Crossley is having a debate with Aaron Goma as Martin O'Neill looks on, but there's a delay in this goal kick being taken because Crossley wasn't at all happy, I think, with what the defence was doing ahead of him there. Green's lay off, in goes Petrov. Didn't make contact, perhaps fortunately. Pembridge, good play. Timlin, Sava. Tackled by Petrov, and free kick's been given. Seemed a bit harsh.
It's just the type of situation we were talking about there, the two front players involved in a wee linking move, and Petrov's ran beyond them. And Chris Sutton, a lovely deft through ball to him.
Played along by Leacock. Timlin going in behind Agat. Edwin dealt with that pretty well. Off the pass back. They all worked with Agat. Not too pleased with that.
I think that's a wee difference where he's normally playing as a wing back, Didier Agat. He's finding himself obviously in the full back position now. He's been caught once or twice, just lack of concentration with balls over his head.
Sutton's pass picks out Hartson. Hartson has the kind of build, of course, Billy, that seems to need the full 90 minutes at this time of the year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, particularly when he's missed the second half of last season. But you know, there must be a dream to play with. You know, certainly disadvantages with a similarity with the two front players there. But the one thing is, when the ball's played in for midfield players, you know it's secure. They're so strong and able to bring people into play that midfield players will naturally feel confident about making runs forward.
Beatty's header inside. Legwinski with Lennon. Well, Pembridge did very well there to recover after apparently losing the ball, but he's under pressure once again. Here's Beatty breaking on the right. And Legwinski, the captain's armband, comes across. Beatty to Sutton. This is Lennon. Sutton again. Agat. Possession retained very well indeed by Celtic, and now Petrov breaks clear, a shooting chance on his left foot. Almost an upward deflection there. But Petrov really does have a key role in this Celtic lineup with Hartson and Sutton up front.
Absolutely, but I think, you know, indication there of a team that's just been put on and thrown together there. Nobody was prepared to make a decision to go and close Stilling Petrov down, and I think if that had been in his right hand side, there's a fair chance the ball would have been nestling in the back of the net.
Disappointing corner. Spaghetti's corner kick. Man who's opted to play for Ireland rather than Scotland. Well, it was my imagination, Billy, but Mark Crossley looks much leaner than he was a year or two back.
You know, I was just looking at him, and I'm you know, obviously thinking of Mark Crossley a few years ago and thinking the exact same thing. He certainly was a bulkier figure than he appears now, and I think he's 34 now, so you know, he's maybe just appreciative of the years that he's got left and decided to make sure that he gets the most of them.
Laying off the Craven Cottage pies, which are very highly regarded. Good take there by Hedman. Good challenge by Goma. Nimble play by Agat. Beatty's ahead of him. Nowhere to go there for Beatty. He wants a free kick, but he's not going to get one.
Didier Agat doesn't help him there. After he plays the pass, he should get off and, you know, allow more space for him to play the ball back. But you know, Beatty obviously knew that he couldn't do that, and he's taking the challenge.
Well, that's a poor pass back by Varga. Hedman did well. Savard closing in. Here's Doherty. Ehui. Doherty again. At Pembridge to Savard. Timlin. Whipping in the cross, and Pembridge had a good opportunity there on the volley. Seemed to be just a little bit lacking in conviction.
I don't know if he was maybe just in a wee touch early, Jock, and you know, the ball wasn't quite there in front of him. It's a decent early ball that comes in here, and he's got the right idea. There's nothing the goalkeeper can do if that's on target. But I think we're seeing signs that it's a strong combination in there, Pembridge and Legwinski. And Legwinski particularly has impressed me so far. He's got a real enthusiasm for the fray, and he's driving Fulham on.
Foul by Hartson. Clumsy challenge that on Pembridge. Yeah, the man missing is the captain, Lee Clark, who's still not recovered from injury. And he's got a bit of time to go yet before he can get involved. And there are these players for Fulham who are not back to international duty.
A big hole to fill for them there with Sean Davis leaving the club, and such a driving force for them in the middle of the pitch.
Well, I'll tell you, Chris Coleman, I think, will take some heart from the performances on these young men like Adam Green here, trying to lay in Timlin, who's offside. Well, I'm sure Celtic will be keen to have Beattie and McGarry in particular getting heavily involved in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Craig Beattie particularly, it's not an area of the pitch that he's used to. I think he played there for a spell in the Barcelona game. I think it was at Celtic Park for an hour or so. The one thing he does have is a strong running boy, and he's very willing as well. I don't think he quite has the guile to play in that wide right area, but he definitely offers something there. And that's the thing about young lads. You know, when you have the likes of Hartson and Sutton there, you're looking for any opportunity to get into the team, and I'm sure he'll be just quite happy to be playing, and he's certain to make the most of it.
Only 20 years old, this is time to start making a real impact. Headed away by Green. Agat picks out Beattie. Good challenge by Green, who was very quick to the point of danger, the fullback. Another change being made by Celtic. And coming off is John Hartson. He's deemed to have done enough. The replacement, Ross Wallace. That'll allow Beattie, I think, to go to centre forward, which he'll relish. So 1 hour of John Hartson this afternoon. So young Ross Wallace goes on. He will be a natural operator on the left-hand side, the 19-year-old. And Aidan McGarry's already made his way across to the right, with Beattie joining Sutton through the middle. This is Lennon. Legwinski. It's well controlled by Varga. An offside flag up on the near side here. Free kick to Fulham. This is Legwinski. Over the top of Doherty. Too quick with the cross. He had more time than he realised, I think. Wallace giving a tough task there to McNamara, who coped very well indeed. That's Beattie. Oh, excellent play by Wallace. Here's Sutton at his best, holding off defenders, playing the pass. This is Agat. Clumsy challenge there by Timlin, but Agat was strong enough to withstand it. Lennon setting off Beattie. Goma's the defender coming across. What can Beattie do against him? Not enough. Strong, good play by a very experienced defender, Alan Goma.
I think that's the type of situation I'm talking about with Craig Beattie. That he's not that type of player where he's on a one-on-one there. I think as the ball was played over his shoulder, a good option for him would have been just to play it first time across the area between the goalkeeper and the back four, and allow the Celtic front players to get in on top of it.
It also shows you you're talking about real experience and quality in defence, like Goma.
Yeah,
how difficult it is for a youngster.
Well, definitely. I mean, I think they brought on a new team and there are young ones involved, but the likes of Legwinski and Goma, particularly Pembridge, are so vital because it's experienced players that when the chips are down that will draw on the reserves and get you through it, and indeed help the younger ones.
Green to Timlin. Youngster to youngster. Much too close to Hedman. No problem at all there for the Swedish international keeper. The only Swede left now itself. There's last Mjällby away. Beattie's offside. He knew it, I think, before the flag was up. He was looking for it. Real chances for Beattie now alongside Sutton. He's got half an hour, I think, to make a real impression.
Yeah, I think he's obviously come into the side last season and had a few outings. They say the type of front player that we're talking about that will running into corners, there's no reason why he can't do that. He's got the running power. It's just a wee bit of knowledge about when to go and offer that opportunity for midfield players or even full-backs to pop a ball in there and to get Celtic possession as Larsson did way up the pitch.
Good attacking play by Volts, the full-back, but that's a foul committed on the far side on Lawson. Possession goes back to Celtic.
Yeah, it's an indication that Fulham definitely want to try and get back into this game and get the equaliser. They've got full-backs getting forward in the furthest forward position there in the case of Volts. As I say, it was poor play because it was a situation that the Celtic player was under a bit of pressure. No need to go and give away a foul.
I think Sutton had asked Lee Cock to dance there, for the look of it. The referee didn't appreciate that. The free kick goes to Fulham. Sabah did well there against Varga. You wondered when Crosty lined that up whether he was wasting his time with his long high ball downfield against the Celtic defence.
Well, that's exactly the thought that went through my mind, but you know, whether it was by accident or design, he clipped the ball in just in front of Varga there, and almost produced something, got a wee flick and a half chance in the penalty box.
There's Wallace. Lennon to Wallace again. Mike Lamara. Very tight corner. These players have done very well indeed to come out of it. Lennon particularly finding space when there appeared to be none. He's done that once again.
We were talking earlier on about John Harrison and the frame and the type of player that he is, that he needs, you know, plenty of minutes on the pitch. I think Neil Lennon's definitely in that category.
Chance here for McGarry. Trying the chip to the far post. Great confidence McGarry has. Didn't appear to be phased at all there.
Maybe just a wee bit overconfident. Once again, Celtic have the man over. In a good position there, and as I say, I don't think the manager will be too pleased with him there. I think it's an opportunity to make the goalkeeper make a save, and he's tried the chip.
Wallace with the corner kick. Leacock. Now Pembridge. Ehui giving it away there to McGarry. Petrov. Forward comes Sutton, holding player in midfield. Beatty's little touch on wasn't a bad one. I think Sutton was taken by surprise there. Perhaps thought that was a job he should be doing.
I think that's exactly what happened. I think Chris Sutton was looking for the initial ball. He was too close to Craig Beattie when Beattie eventually did get the flick.
Petrov's pass, space here for Wallace, Beattie, Sutton, and McGarry wait in the box. That's McGarry. Got a chance there. He's tried to lay it off first time to Sutton. Didn't quite come off. Lovely turn by Savard. That's for Ehui. He's very quick indeed. So too is Agat. But here's Ehui. Can he finish it? Now back to Savard and Pembridge. And a fine save by Hedman in the end. But the opportunity surely was best of all for Ishmael Ehui.
Yeah, I think the replay shows us here. Just the final moments of that was a good shot from Pembridge, but when they went by the goalkeeper, I think he maybe made the right decision not to try and squeeze it in. There was a couple of Celtic defenders getting back, but the pass back was a poor one and didn't allow any opportunity at all.
Pembridge with the outswinging corner. Another chance there for Savard. It was missed in the box by the Celtic defence, and Savard can't believe that.
Well, Varga made the decision to go and attack the ball. He's missed it, and that's a golden opportunity. That's one that's got to be finished. Any header on target there, and that's an equaliser for Fulham. A real escape there for Celtic.
Well, they did have a man in the post. Might just have been able to block that. Good play by Sutton. Here's Wallace. McGarry wanted the ball played quickly. A foul by Pembridge on Wallace.
Bit of a soft one there. I mean, I think Ross Wallace coming away in field. I think he's an old-fashioned winger type. Get wide right on the touchline and stretch the Fulham defence.
Good running by McNamara. Didn't put enough of that pass to Wallace. just wanted a foul there for the handling of Waltz, and I think the case. That's what he's asking the referee. I think he's got some justification there.
It's maybe helped the game a wee bit. The referee's attitude has been to try and keep the game flowing, and as I say, in a fixture such as this, first game for Celtic, second for Fulham, it's helped the game be more attractive, I think.
Well, something of a treat now to see so many good young players now on this arena for both sides. But interesting to see McGeady, Wallace, Beattie for Celtic in particular in the second half. Beattie did well. This is Lennon. Now McGeady is drifted inside to good effect. Sutton to his right, Beattie to his left. Good defending by Bolts. Petrov in quickly on Legwinski. He looks very eager and hungry, Petrov. A disappointing European Championship he had in Portugal for Bulgaria. All that off he was in that context, but here he goes with a chance. That could be a penalty. It is. No argument about that. Clear cut for me.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. I think once again we've got Petrov beyond the front players. And a death ball from Chris Sutton again. He's just got in there, knocked it past the goalkeeper. And that's a stone wall.
The referee's having a chat with Mark Crossley, I think, reminding him that in a different context it might have been a red card for him, or certainly a yellow one, but none has been shown and we're happy about that. Here's Neil Lennon. He's going to take the penalty. He's scored only twice in his Celtic career, and now it's 3.
I think that's another occasion that hadn't been a pre-season friendly, would have been a different penalty taker, but allowed the opportunity for Neil Lennon to get a rare goal, and I must say he took it with some aplomb.
So 20 minutes left for play, 2-0 to Celtic. No argument about this at all. It was a perfectly justifiable penalty, beautifully taken by Lennon. And in fact, it's hard to grudge Celtic this lead, Billy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fulham came out in the second half with obviously a new team, literally, and been quite energetic and looked a bit more threatening, but Celtic have worked their way back into the game with Petrov and Sutton being particularly, working their way through it, and just a slack ball from Legwinski there. But certainly they've worked their way back into it, Celtic, and to say Petrov's been a major influence in that.
It's good play by Timlin, picking out Green. Hui gives it away there to Petrov, who's strong to find McGeady. Good defending by Green. Legwinski. Sava. Breaking the ball, falls counter for Fulham to Pembridge. Couldn't hold off Lennon. This is Lawson. And now Petrov. Celtic about to ring some changes here. Some youngsters going to get an opportunity very shortly to make an impact. Well, there's 2-goal lead, 20 minutes left. A great chance to see some youngsters. We're going to see Kevin McBride. We're going to see Scott Cuthbert. We'll also see Darren O'Day. So, first look at these young men for many Celtic fans, and Neil Lennon is one of the players making way. How he enjoyed that penalty. Off goes Lennon, on goes McBride in his place. Lawson and Agat also coming off. Scott Cuthbert is number 5 who's going on, and number 14 is Darren O'Day. So it's Cuthbert who's going to right back. O'Day is going to left back, and McBride is in the centre of midfield beside Petrov. Interesting times.
There's a value of having a Jackie McNamara in your team as well. I know it's only a pre-season friendly, but he has the ability to go and perform to a very good standard in just about all the positions across the back four and even in midfield.
That's Cuthbert caught out of position there. Timlin gets across to play the ball in, and Varga makes the clearance. Yes, it's McNamara beside Varga to allow O'Day to go to left back and Cuthbert to right back. Kick to Fulham. Such an unfamiliar looking Celtic team now. It may be the shape of things to come in the not too distant future. We'll run through the Celtic formation again very shortly as Pembridge plays in the corner. Well won by Petrov. That's Green. That was a fine strike by Adam Green. Turned away for the corner again. Good headed block inside the penalty area. What a sweet strike from the fullback.
Great technique. Ball sat up for him. He's under pressure from a Celtic player. He's got a tremendous impact on the ball, and you know that would have really tested Marcus Hedman.
It's Petrov's headed clearance, and now Pembridge with a short corner kick this time. Shooting chance there for Doherty. Well blocked by Cuthbert, who spotted that danger very quickly indeed. Here's Mark Crossley. McNamara's header. Sutton losing out to Green. Good header by Legwinski. Here's Sean Doherty. Came off McNamara, so Hedman had to keep that in play. So I'll just remind you again of the new Celtic formation set up by Mark O'Neill so that we can get a handle on this. Hedman's in goal. Right back is Scott Cuthbert. Varga and McNamara at centre back. Darren O'Day's at left back. McGeady wide on the right. In the centre of midfield, we have Kevin McBride and Petrov. On the far side, on the left side is Wallace and the four midfield players. And the front two, Sutton and Beattie.
Certainly the two young lads that have come on at fullback have a degree of well, let's just say they're big lads. I think
physical presence, eh?
Yeah, that's the one. Mark O'Neill, I think, likes that in his defenders, and they're just young lads, but already they're showing signs that they have that physical capability and they won't be messed about.
Edmonds clearance. Beattie against Leacock. That's Volts. McNamara challenging Sava. Sava took it off. Played forward by Doherty. Hui won't reach that. And I like to see that. O'Day coming to take that short to the keeper. Now McBride. Kev McBride playing it long for Sutton. Waits for Beattie. Here's Sutton again. McGeady's inside. Here's McGeady. Oh, that was a foul, surely. Good sleight of foot there by McGeady. Goma made the challenge and looked certainly to me like a foul. The referee didn't think so. Right on the edge of the penalty area too. It was close to a penalty, that.
That's what he's good at, McGeady. He showed him the ball, committed the defender, and he's just manoeuvred it sideways to get a hit on goal, and the defenders definitely made contact with him. And the referee was in a good position to make a decision.
Yeah, but it might have been wrong.
Yeah, they do make them now and again, I must say.
That's Sava who's got the problem. He seemed to catch his heel there, going for that high ball with McNamara, and he may have to be replaced. And that is indeed the case. Stuart Noble is coming on, and Stuart Noble is a young Scotsman of whom Billy Stark has some knowledge, I think.
Yeah, did John at St Johnstone on loan for a spell in the transfer window January through to the end of the season. And he contributed 5 or 6 goals. He's a very strong lad. He's got a kind of unusual gait, very bandy legs, but what a powerful left foot and an electric burst of pace over a short distance. So it's good to see him get a chance here.
Well, the interest does not wane at all in this match. As Fulham try to retrieve the situation with just about 12.5 minutes left for play. Here's Noble's first contribution, linking here with Timlin. Varga's header. Now Petrov. McBride. That's a good turn under pressure there from Legwinski. Varga finds Sutton, a lot of space here. Beattie wants the ball played in early, and Sutton tried to oblige. Leacock intercepted. Promising for a moment there for Celtic with Sutton in such space.
Just as you would expect from Chris Sutton, he sees all the he seems to see all the possibilities. He tried to just slide one beyond the centre back there for the young Beattie to step onto, but unfortunately for him it was cut out.
Sean Doherty, Legwinski. This is Wallace. And now Petrov. Sutton's layoff. Beattie's onside, played on by Green on the near side here. McBride's in the middle, so is McGeady, so is Sutton. That's McBride, what a chance he had! Well, a moment he would never have forgotten, the young man. And he rifled that into the net. It was waiting for him. Here's a Hui with McNamara. Back now with Green. Vargas header. Wallace has time now to pick out a pass from defence. Here's McBride. O'Day for Beattie. Good goalkeeping by Crossley. First class anticipation. Noble's ball read by Petrov, and Legwinski reciprocates. Here's Green. The game still being played at an amazing pace for a pre-season friendly going into the 80th minute.
That's the beauty. I mean, that you get criticised for too many substitutes, but certainly there's enough fresh legs on the pitch to ensure that continues right through.
Green angling that across. O'Day with Doherty.
As you say, young Kieran McBride will be distraught when he thinks back on that one. What an opportunity in front of the travelling Celtic fans to stroke away your first goal for the club. I think it was one of those chances that is a bit more difficult than it looks. You need to kind of sweep it away. You don't need to get any momentum on the ball at all. It was on his weaker foot as well, and he's really just misread it and didn't make any contact at all.
Well, and we have another chance before the end. The way Celtic are playing. McBride's lay off. This is McNamara. Sutton gives chase. Bolts tries to ease him off the ball. It's good defending in the end by the German, but he's crowded out again. Beattie wins possession. This is Sutton laying it inside for Beattie. Goma was there. Doherty. Now Timlin. That's good sleight of foot there. An excellent movement ahead by Ehui. Varga plays it back. Well, it wasn't a pass back. It's not that good, I don't think. And Edmund was confident enough to take that. McGeady's lay off. Finds O'Day. Beattie would have been offside had that been in his area.
Just the inexperience of young Green at left back for Fulham created that chance. Beattie should have been offside, but young Green stayed in. Definitely played him onside, and Beattie's done everything right, getting to the byline, looking up and laying it on a plate for young Kevin McBride.
There's Bolts, who was such a target of Chris Coleman. He was on loan from Arsenal initially. Now a full signing. There's Kevin McBride reflecting in that moment. The wrestling match goes on. Goma and Sutton. It's Sutton who's penalised.
Well, the way Chris Sutton plays, that's something that we see throughout the season, and it's difficult for referees to make a decision either way. Sometimes he gets them, sometimes he doesn't.
I think that's the view he's got to take, actually. No point getting upset at the ones that he loses out on, because he certainly gets his share.
He does.
Green under pressure there from Beattie, who did well. It should be a free kick to Celtic. It is. So 2-0 Celtic. John Hartson in 8 minutes. Neil Lennon from the penalty spot in 70 after a clear foul on Stilian Petrov. And there's another clear foul on Craig Beattie by Michael Timlin. Good ball played in early, that's for Sutton. Good defending by Leacock. That's great play by Legwinski. Giving a little lesson there to McBride. A little cameo. This is Varga. Oh, that's good play. Here's Wallace with a chance on his left foot. What a really good chance it was for Ross Wallace. And Varga took all the credit for the build-up.
Yeah, I mean, Varga takes just an extra wee moment to commit the defender there and slips a lovely ball through to beat offside. As we saw with Aidan McGeady in a different way on the other side, where he tried to chip the goalkeeper. It looked as if it was a slight deflection there, to be honest, but I don't think it was going to hit the target anyway, and that's the type of thing you're looking for in that type of situation.
Throw to Fulham, which Adam Green will take. So a goal kick to Celtic, and I suspect that this will be deemed to be a good afternoon for Martin O'Neill.
Oh, absolutely. I think they played early in the pre-season last year here, and I think they won 2-1. You know, you can say results don't count, pre-season and all the rest of it, but with the Old Firm, every game's one that you're under scrutiny and you're expected to win. And of course, it's another way of looking at measuring English Premiership against the Old Firm.
And a chance to see so many young players too, to get them involved, to play with the top players. It must be a real education for some of these young men to play alongside the Jackie McNamara's and the Chris Suttons and Neil Lennons.
It should make it easier because not only are they good players, but they're good professionals and a bit of help to the young lads.
Huey's back heel picked up there by Petrov. McBride was caught napping. Legwinski was alive to that, and Hedman made the save. Little inquest there between McBride and Petrov.
I think it's just an experience again from young Kevin McBride there. It's the type of situation that he should really be thinking. They're going to be up on top of me here and I've got to protect the ball, but he was dreaming a wee bit and the ball get through for a good strike.
Pembridge swings it in. Came off the head there of O'Day. This is Doherty. Here's McNamara. Goal kick it is to Celtic. You hear the noise coming from the Celtic supporters. They've enjoyed the afternoon. They've seen a winning performance, it would appear. A couple of good goals, some good individual performances, and of course the start of some new careers perhaps. Legwinski. Hui needs help in the middle. But does he? He doesn't need much help when he can shoot like that. What a good effort it was.
I think it was a good decision. He had to get his bearings right, ball over his shoulder, but it's just kicked up, sat up nicely for him, and he's thought, this stage in the game I'm going to have a go, and it wasn't far away.
Beattie and Leacock together. Goma sorts it out for Fulham. A rushed pass by Doherty straight to Varga. Off goes Beattie. Oh, a chance here if he can keep possession, and Leacock and Bolts together close him out. Legwinski's pass. Cuthbert did well, but Doherty has possession again. And now Noble setting it up for Green. Noble once more. Trying to nutmeg Varga. He's very strong too, Noble. Well, Billy Slack told us that. Almost get through. Back from McGeady to Cuthbert. Tidy play by 19-year-old Leacock. Bolts. His touch wasn't quite what he intended, but Noble almost was able to take advantage. Just a couple of minutes plus stoppage time left. Not much stoppage time, I would imagine. I wouldn't think either manager was too perturbed about that. Timlin caught there by McNamara. Free kick it is to Fulham. I still want to have at least some consolation for Chris Coleman before the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, they want to show the manager that they're not going to give up. They're going to keep going right to the end. Pre-season friendly or not, as you say, if it's a consolation goal, better 2-1 than 2-0.
Pembridge, the set piece man. Leacock's in the box with Goma. And Legwinski. Good header there, came from Noble, I think. And Hedman managed to make the block. Well, Noble can't believe that. He thought he'd scored all right. Little head flick, glancing header. Inquest among the Celtic defenders, I suspect, about the fact that a Fulham head got to that. This is Timlin. McNamara's clearance goes straight to Leacock. Well, that's good play by Leacock. Here's Green. That's a good left foot. And the block was made by McNamara.
What a great in-swinging ball from Pembridge. That's been a feature since he's come on. He's delivered some good set pieces.
Now 32 years old, Pembridge. Legwinski's pass cut off well by Petrov. And where are the options? He has to wait and hold things up. This is Wallace. Wallace now to McBride. Oh, he's held possession very intelligently, McBride. Beattie's onside, trying to change of pace to go past Bolts, but the German defender read that very well indeed. That's good play in defence. Good turn by Petrov. This is McBride. Back it comes now to O'Day. And this is Sutton. And back it comes to Scott Cuthbert. Well, reflections, Billy, over the piece.
Well, I think, first of all, Martin O'Neill will be very satisfied. You know, they've had a good workout against English Premiership opposition. They've come away with a result, and you know, just as importantly, they've had a number of players that have had, you know, variously 45 minutes to an hour. The top players like Hartson and Lennon, that type of thing. So, all in all, he'll have achieved everything that he wanted to out of today's game, I think.
I suspect too for Chris Coleman, he'll be thinking that this will be useful too. He's had half of his first team out in the first half, half in the second half. A lot of young players blooded. And there goes the referee's whistle for the Celtic supporters travelling down here at Craven Cottage. A thoroughly satisfactory afternoon's work because they've watched a 2-0 victory, thoroughly deserved. And they've also seen some young players blooded and showing some real ability for this Celtic team. So all in all, I think they'll be very happy with the trip, and Martin O'Neill also, I think, has every reason to be thoroughly satisfied with the performance of these players, some of the young players in particular, getting a chance to show themselves. And I really think it's a very happy afternoon for Celtic, Billy.
Yeah, as I say, it's always one that you want to get through without getting injuries to your key players. They appear to have done that. Stylian Petrov and Chris Sutton made an appearance coming on at half time, and they both, I thought, played particularly well in the second half. You know, a big factor in Celtic controlling the game and you know, eventually winning it quite comfortably. But as you say, I think Chris Coleman will feel that he saw some interesting signs from his younger players there, and once again, you know, the Fulham fans applauding them there. They're not desperately unhappy. They know they've come up against a team with a bit of quality and pedigree, and they know that they've got a bit of match fitness out of today's game, working towards the start of the season.
Well, we've certainly enjoyed ourselves hugely this afternoon. It's been a very good pre-season friendly. It's ended very satisfactorily for Celtic. The final score at Craven Cottage, Fulham 0, Celtic 2.
Thanks, Jocks, for an excellent start to Celtic's pre-season campaign.
With Neil Lennon. Neil, fantastic game, first win, first game. It's not too bad, is it?
Yeah, I think we're delighted. I mean, these games are for your fitness, like, but I think the guys look pretty sharp today, and we played some really good stuff. And it's nice to start the pre-season with a win always.
And how did it feel to get a goal as well?
Oh, it's been a long time, like, you know, I can't remember the last time I did it, so he didn't want to take in pre-season, so I think all the lads just passed it on to me.
It's nice when you see it hit the net, isn't it?
Oh, aye, yeah. I think if Norman had gone the other way, they'd saved it. But we've got a, you know, cruel trip in front of us, like, and obviously we're going to get stiffer tests with Chelsea, United, Liverpool and Roma, so it's nice to get off to a good start.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's quite stiff games over there. Are you going to enjoy them? Is it too soon to play that kind of games?
No, not really. I mean, we've been back 2 weeks now, and I think the lads are just itching to play, and no better test than like playing the likes of top Premiership clubs, obviously, in a Serie A team. But at the end of those 2 weeks, we'll know how far down the lane we are for preparations for the start of the season.
Well, thanks for coming to speak to me, and all the best for next season. I wish you well.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Neil Cooley slotted home Celtic's second goal, the penalty kick, of course. Now, he said all the Celtic boys are looking fairly sharp. Would you agree with him?
I felt that, look, for this time of the season, considering they've only probably been in training for a week, I felt they looked particularly sharp, and I felt they looked up to the game. And I think this was a good one, a good opening game for them.
So the Celtics